Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to RetroIsland.com. The only site for everything retro. The Retro Island Network for everything retro. RetroIsland.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Gameplay. And this is Michael Burhan watching out for his son, who's going to throw up. Please don't do it. Please. he actually is, and I am kind of worried about him at the moment. Come here, sweetie. Come here and sit with Daddy. And please don't throw up everywhere. Come on.
And please do not throw up on me.
Again. Exactly. Out on your sister.
Such a loving son.
He's little, he's only 2.
I know.
Throw up on me,
Come here.
but I'll see.
Okay, he's getting cuddles now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another E3 episode of Gameplay. We did our first one this week, I believe, which was on the Tuesday, and that's where we introduced one of our special hosts tonight, a lovely lady in cosplay, of course. You can find her on Facebook, Twitter, and all those other little mediums. She is Miss Jamie Styles. Jamie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I hope everyone else is doing good as well.
Oh, yes, everyone's doing great. Yeah, don't mind me. And speaking of clean up puke, of course, we have the man who cleans up puke with his Let's Plays, Mr. Travis Goss, who quite recently did a rage quit on his current this week. Travis, what happened?
Death is what happened. What happened is, for those of you who've watched the episode, I've said this so many times, I used to beat this game quite a lot when I was a kid, and I've gotten older. I can't do it. I can't beat death in Castlevania. So I said, screw it, threw my controller down, and I said, I'm just moving on to the next game. And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Now, moving on from that, of course, we also have another guest host onto the show today. Somebody who hasn't been on the show before. She was when I was doing my call outs quite recently. She did ask to come on and be one of our co-hosts of the show, but our schedules seem to conflict. She's a fellow actor and also someone I've worked with a couple of times. One on Castlevania Mess, which was on the Voice real project that I've been doing, and on a new Metal Gear Solid one, which is going to be debuting tomorrow, but I won't tell you guys anything about it until the project's up and running, of course. And she is Miss Anna Kasky. Anina, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, yes. I'm Anina Kasky. Hello to you all, fellow gamers, and thanks for having me.
Oh, no.
Salutations.
Anina, tell us a little bit about your gaming background for those people out there who don't know you and who want to get to know you a little bit more.
My gaming right now, I am unfortunately hopelessly behind on the actual gaming front, but I've been keeping in touch with what's coming up. In games, I'd say I love RPGs. I absolutely
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
I love RPGs, but I also, Skyrim, Morrowind, love them all. Also, I loved Heavy Rain. I love, what else? Bioshock series. Love that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like Bioshock. If you do, there's something wrong with you. And also, retro-wise, Tetris. I was a Tetris
I Bioshock just so you could actually make fun of me and insult me and say that there's something mentally wrong with me.
I'm keen on it.
Tetris, that's the game right there, man. The highest I've ever gotten in the game was like over 200,000.
The thing that it is a really, really great story. So I have to, I enjoyed Bioshock. So speaking also of another gentleman that you haven't heard, who's recently been coming on a lot more of the Idle Gameplay podcast. Remember, he's becoming a member of the Fixtures, and also the one person who loves to insult me and says he's my coattails until I get famous. Here's Mr. Oliver Hughes.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good night, everybody, whatever time frame you're in.
And say goodbye to Hughes. And also, we have the sexiest man to have a voice on radio. He's Mr. Xander, Mr. XXXXX Gaming Podcast, Scullion.
Hey everyone, just to let you guys know, my diet for I Get Gameplay tonight is pickles, tortillas, and red wine.
And my son's
That's
the
right.
one throwing up. That's what I don't understand. He was eating well today and he threw up like anything. But Xander has wine and pickles and tortillas, but he's fine.
But he's not two.
So yes, and also speaking of the impressive physiques, we have a man who has one of the most impressive physiques on the planet. He puts Arnold Schwarzenegger to shame with his chiseled physique and beautiful collarbones. He is Mr. Zach, getting your nerd on the tour.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Yeah, nothing much. You know, we did the E3 preview show previously, and also part one of our E3 retrospective, of course, when we talked a bit about Sony's Microsoft press conferences along with E3 and Ubisoft. In part two, we're going to basically retread on that a little bit as we go into talking about, of course, Nintendo and also our winners and losers. Now, before we do that, of course, guys, as a big fixture of this show, we have what we call gaming news, and we shall do that now with this. So, Mr. Zach Latour, what's in the news this week?
Well, I got two things, and they're both very close to my heart.
You sure your heart?
Or my penis.
Okay. That's
so the first one is Goat Simulator got an update, which I love Goat Simulator.
Oh my god, yes.
In this update, you can actually be a penguin. Or you
Goat Simulator has an update that can actually be a penguin.
Yeah, and you can also be this fucking gigantic whale.
Oh my god, what?
Amazing.
I'm in love.
Yeah.
Literally am. I need to buy this on Steam.
What can you do as a penguin and a whale? Because we all
Everything.
Well, what can't you do with a penguin and a whale?
Yeah, what
Everything.
can't you do?
That does actually sound like a penguin and a whale walked into a bar.
Sounds like a really bad joke.
Yeah, it does. All right, and also, now, so I was watching this guy talking about it, and you can actually be the penguin or the whale or the goat, but you can, if you go down this one sewer, you can actually like, find the Ninja Turtles and fight them, which is pretty
Penguin
fucking
and
cool.
the goat and the whale.
Well, you'd be the goat or the whale or the penguin, and you can fight the Ninja Turtles. Yeah, but they're called
like gang warfare. Like they'll be clicking their fingers.
Yeah, but they're called like Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles, and they have like Shrek ears, and they're all like fucked up looking.
So basically, Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and then it says also in this article that there's Zoidberg and also Jake from Adventure Time, but I didn't get to watch the whole video, so I'm guessing you don't get to be them. I'm guessing you just find them throughout the game or whatever.
This is what Zach Latour does with his personal time, people. He goes looking for goats and Ninja Turtles and penguins.
I get naked and I surf the internet.
That's literally what he does. In that order. Or sometimes just surf the internet and get naked.
Of course.
So, moving on from that, do you have any other news? What does everyone think about that, actually?
Getting naked?
What's everyone's opinion on the goat and the penguin and, oh god, I've got a child throwing up on me. God.
Actually,
on the game then.
Yes. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit while I try and clean myself and this poor child up. Are you okay now?
12.
Yes, I think you and me need to get a change of clothes. I'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Talk amongst yourselves, folks. Ollie, you can helm the show for a second.
Yay.
It's your time to shine.
Okay. Anyone? Let's just move on to news. Anyone got any news?
I actually got something that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sometime last year, Japan released Vita TV. You know, the PS Vita TV.
Yeah.
Well, at E3 this past week, Sony has announced that it is coming to the West, but it's going to be called something else. And I think it's a strange title they're calling this thing, a strange name. They're calling it PlayStation TV. Interesting how they're calling this device the PlayStation TV apart from the Vita TV, because for those of you who don't know, the PlayStation TV will play Vita games, which is pretty awesome. And right now, from what I understand, the system will release for $99, which is just the standalone unit. But for $139, you're going to also throw in a controller and a copy of the Lego Movie video game.
And like an 8 megabyte memory card as well.
Exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool news, because for one thing, I got enough portables as it is right now. So I thought this was kind of a neat idea that they're going to have this over here in the West. And you can also download other games from the PlayStation Network onto this. Like you can download PSP games. So that's a big seller right there for me. I'm pretty excited about it. What do you guys think about this? PlayStation TV.
I'm pretty excited about it personally. I was anticipating if the Vita TV was going to come to the West, and I really enjoy the Vita. I don't own the Vita, but I know a lot of people that do, and I think it's a very underrated handheld, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice for guys like me who do Let's Plays and all this stuff, and there's some of these games we want to record, but we just don't have the means of doing so.
Of course.
So I think this was a really nice idea, and I wish Nintendo would come out with something similar to that, but we know how Nintendo is with YouTube these days.
Well, they're doing the whole, their own machinima thing, so pretty soon Nintendo's going to be its own conglomerate.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I love this idea of you can play Vita games on the TV set. They did that with the PSP with that special connector cord, a cord they connect from your PSP to your television and all that. But yeah, this is pretty sweet. I might actually invest in one of these things.
No, Travis, you're going to invest in one of these things. Okay? That's the plus.
Set your Jedi mind powers.
You get your wallet out now and you invest in it. Right now.
I will invest in the PlayStation TV because Michael Burhan told me so, and he's one sexy beast.
Michael Burhan approved. Sony, cut me my check right now.
Michael Burhan approved. Travis Goss second approves. Or he second.
I have to admit, I'm interested in this because, personally, PS Vita, I think, was aesthetically a very ugly design. I mean, I'm sure the games were great, but I couldn't get over how ugly the actual handheld was.
Yeah.
Compared to the PSP.
Burhan, emergency, Burhan, emergency.
Yeah, he's just run off.
Okay.
All right, folks, we might get cut off in a second because for some reason it just warned us we only have 90 seconds left.
Emergency. Team Command Fighters, prepare to launch. Sorry, I've got Star Fox in my brain, which is another cool thing that's come out for the Wii U this in the coming year.
Yeah.
Something. Anybody else got any news stories?
Yeah. Anyone else got news?
We'll continue with the news segments, guys. And what we'll do, ladies and gents, we will, if the show does get cut off, we will come back with another live feed in a few seconds. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's happening. The show has been set to its time, but for some reason it gets cut short. So we should be back in a few seconds after this. Right. So, let's continue talking. while I'm trying to rectify this little issue that we're having. So, in terms of the Vita TV, who's buying?
Oh, I'm definitely buying because I just came across another news story relating to the Vita. A very underrated PC game is going to be resurrected for the PS4 and the Vita, and I'm talking about Grim Fandango.
Oh, yes, I heard about this. I'm so excited. I loved Grim Fandango.
I missed out on this game, and just knowing that this game is going to have a second life on next-gen systems like PS4 and, of course, the Vita, I'm stoked beyond so much.
Oh,
I get their chance.
You and me both. I'm extremely stoked about this game. I can't wait to see it. It's one of the positives of Disney buying LucasArts. The fact, because we did think that, games like, it leaves open so many games like Day of the Tentacle, Psychonauts, games that didn't really have a bit of a shelf life previously, and that may actually get a second chance. And apparently they'll be updated for PS4 graphics.
What,
Yeah.
like,
I can't wait for Grim Fandango. Oh my god. I read about it today and I had a little happy dance.
What does your happy dance look like? That would be hilarious to see a happy dance.
It looks ridiculous. But that's what it's meant to look like. It's like a
happy dance
girl having a fit of some sort.
Oh, someone having a fit of some sort.
Yeah.
That does sound like my habits, actually. I look like I'm someone screaming with Tourette's.
That just sounds like me
like-
dancing in
That's
general.
frightening.
My happy dance kind of looks like that really, really heavy-set girls on YouTube videos. That she bounces around and it's all happy and stuff. That's the way my happy dance is. Just when I thought about Grim Fandango coming back. So that's pretty cool.
Ooh. Well, ladies and gents, we will be back with some more news in a second as we try to resolve some technical issues. I do apologise, and we will be right back with some more iBot gameplay.
Blog
Hello.
Talk Radio.
Hello.
Musical intervals.
Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Do apologise. I don't know what happened. We are bringing everybody back as we are. We were talking currently about Grim Fandango and Anina's happy dance. Xander, what does your happy dance look like?
It consists of a backflip turning into the worm.
Nice.
I want to see video of that.
Is that actually your happy dance, or is that you imagining your happy dance?
It's my fantasy happy dance.
Okay, so the actual happy dance is you stumbling on the floor and probably collapsing.
I'm not
It's me,
impressed more.
it's me breaking my neck.
That's every time I break dance. I always manage to break something when I dance.
Yeah.
But don't
like break down the funk. So what about you, Zach? What's your happy dance look like?
I don't know. It involves my dick moving.
Okay.
I'd say it's your penis turning into a rocket ship.
Yeah, that's
sailing into the cosmos of awesomeness.
That
Yeah.
does sound like
Rocket.
Sid Meier's Civilization. I'm saying.
Lord.
That sounds like the plotline of Sid Meier's Civilization. Inspired by Zach Latour. Sid Meier does it in games, I do it in real life. So what about you, Jamie? What does your happy dance look like?
My actual happy dance in real life is kind of like, if anybody watched The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I do the whole Carlton thing.
Awesome! Okay,
And I was doing it like one time in this bowling alley, and this guy just looks over at me and goes, "That's really hot." And I'm like, no.
That guy probably has no...
Were you saying that it wasn't hot, or were you saying that you weren't going to, do the guy in the bathroom?
I am so out of... Okay, you know what? Guys who say stuff like that look over and be like, "That is so hot." Us girls are so out of their league, they don't even know.
Jeez. Okay.
wow.
What an asshole.
we all feel slightly,
That guy had no chance with me, and he should just die.
No, I'm just saying they should know better than just be like, you're hot. They should say like, hi,
He
I'm
didn't say
Jack.
that you were hot.
Hey,
He
I'm
said that
Jack.
dance was
I think
hot.
the best thing I would have said if I was that guy was like, I used to watch that show too.
So, you know,
That way,
I
because we both got the reference. So,
Oh,
Even
yeah.
quite endearing, I think. That'd be quite endearing.
Hi, I'm Michael, and that bathroom isn't going to hump itself.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I was...
Let's go to a broom closet and strip.
See, me and Zach have no standards. It's fine. We would, if a guy told us our dancer would look hot, we would be his.
I got no standards either, and I'm the one's engaged.
Exactly. Don't tell Courtney that, because I think the engagement will probably be on rocky roads. I have no standards either. Honey, I love you. So let's move on underneath a little bit. So Jamie, do you have any of us? Apart from, ass guys who should just die.
I don't have any. I tried to keep up with the whole E3 thing. My stream was cutting out because right when E3 happened, we had this massive storm for a week. And I'm like,
the dog.
wonderful.
That's all I do. I usually blame it on the dog.
Yeah, it's just this massive storm, and so the internet kept cutting out. But I have recently finished watching a walkthrough of Murdered Soul Suspect.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm curious. How was it?
It was actually really good. I will say this though, the facial animation was not that great. The story was fantastic though, but I felt that the ending was too quick. There was no real build up in the final whatever happens. No spoilers here.
Always complaining it's too quick.
I was actually going to say that, Ollie. We so think alike. That's weird.
Well, it was like the ending. There's something that happens that's a big reveal of something that may or may not have happened to your character. And
I said about Zach, he always has a big reveal.
The biggest.
But it was they pop it off in the middle of the battle, and it just
sounds like me also.
Oh my god, guys! But it was too quick, and there was no time to really think about what happened, or really. Can somebody just go ahead and yell? That's what she said.
No,
I'm just eating
No,
pickles.
that's too easy. No.
I think collectively, every single guy in this room kind of snickered. I nearly had a heart attack because I'm just sitting here laughing my freaking ass off. But I understand, she wasn't too pleased.
I really enjoyed the story though because they brought in a lot of history from the actual Salem witch trials. So I was really interested. So it's a good game, but all in all, I don't think it's worth the $50. I would definitely wait until it went on sale.
Yeah, I'll be demanding my money back if it was that quick,
Well, same.
Especially getting no pleasure out of it. It's just...
No, you ruined it.
You need to get your pleasure out of it.
Did Murder Soul Suspect cry afterwards? I didn't know why. I didn't understand why the ending was that quick. It's good for your hair, I swear.
Oh my god.
So moving on from that, Xander, do you have some news for us?
I have one thing I want to say.
Well, hey.
Project Giant Robots.
I want a giant robot.
Okay, elaborate.
This game is it's a Miyamoto project, and it's really utilizing the gamepad. And I was watching the E3 Nintendo Treehouse press conference for 3 days. It was like a little Nintendo festival. And, oh my god.
Watching it in a loop for 3 days, just I'm so amazed by it.
It was fucking amazing. They're showing various gameplay of it, and it's pretty much you control this big robot with your gamepad, and the screen shows the cockpit of the robots fighting, and when you look at the TV, it shows the actual two robots. And, I mean, a lot of people have been saying, Nintendo Wii U should just drop the gamepad and drop the price. This is the kind of game that shows you that the gamepad is there for a fucking reason. It is phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's like with most third-party peripherals, isn't it? A lot of game developers don't know how to develop for them, and then they sit there and they blame the device. They don't actually sit there and go, we don't know what we're doing. And the fact that they've come out with this, and it shows proper utilization. I think Nintendo always show proper utilization of their own kits. in a sense. When people were talking about how shitty the Wii Remote was, they brought to us like games that properly utilised it, like Mario Galaxy. You know, and there's only a few people who've actually been able to utilise that control scheme rather well, like Suda51. For those who've played No More Heroes, for instance. So it does show you what it's capable of because it's in the right hand. They kind of nurtured the technology. They know what the technology is about. But everybody else is screaming, oh, they need proper games for it. And that's the main thing we're going to be talking about in a little while about E3. Because there's a lot of these games that have come out from a lot of the presentations as well that we're going to be like touching upon. Now, what does everybody else think about this? So, did you guys see the Nintendo E3 Treehouse Live 3-day event?
Sadly, I haven't, but I know you can catch it on Nintendo's website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was funny because I couldn't because of my work schedule I couldn't watch a lot of the E3. So I actually had my girlfriend. She was blasting my phone with updates.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say she's my girlfriend.
Awesome girlfriend you have.
Just so you know.
She was blasting my phone, like telling me what was going on with the Microsoft. The only E3 actual press conference I caught was Sony's, but no, Nintendo continued after E3. They continued with Twitch with the Treehouse event, which was pretty much like IGN's version of Nintendo, and they were just constantly showing news feeds and gameplay of all the games coming out, and it was amazing. I really hope that the other companies like Sony and Xbox, I hope they do that because it kind of really shed light of games that we wondered about, like Sony's like The Order. They showed just like CG footage, like no actual gameplay, but with Nintendo they actually went in depth and was just like they had a Smash Brothers tournament with the Wii U. You know,
we saw that, and one thing that really makes me excited for Nintendo is like the fact that you can play your Mii now on Smash Brothers, and you've got like 3 different fighting styles and stuff. I mean, Ollie were kind of giddy.
Yeah, it was amazing. I love watching like fighting game tournaments. Like I watch a lot of the Street Fighter ones, so it was really nice seeing the Wii U Smash Brothers in action, seeing these top players playing new characters. They were playing new characters they had never played before and kicking ass. So it was nice.
So let's go on from this, segue from our news a little bit now, and actually go on to the E3 press conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this, of course, because we want to, as always, bring to you the best and freshest in terms of our stuff. So we're just going to take a quick break so that everybody can get themselves together and I can wash sick off of me. And we'll be right back after this.
I got destroyed in that.
Man, every young hot shot in the outer rim comes gunning for me sooner or later.
Feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see your princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but I answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace too. No, and since I carbonized off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, told me get myself together. Now I got myself together. Yeah. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna be better. I'm so happy. The carbonite is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. Solo. Picking up my plaster, putting it on my time. I'm jumping in my Falcon. Whoop, we have my time. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. Solo. realize it feels so good. Oh, stop feeling misunderstood. Back in the game, who knew I would? Oh, so glad time I spread my wings. Loving myself makes me wanna sing. Oh, yeah. Told me get my act together. Now I got my act together. Yeah. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the carbonite is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my face, the cover of my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. Solo. Feeling like a star. You can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City. My head's in the sky. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. Solo.
I haven't seen dancers like that in a long time.
Ted.
Talk over GLaDOS.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and we're just basically going to be talking about our E3 coverage for this week. And because we've had a very long week, we did discuss in our previous show. We introduced our lovely co-host here, Jamie, previously about Sony and Microsoft's conferences, and we're just going to reiterate about those a little bit. Because for Xander, of course, because Xander wasn't there, and Xander's a bit slow, so it's fine. So let's do that for him. So now let's talk a little bit, get your opinion from this, Xander. Microsoft's conference. What did you think of it, Xander? I think he's on the toilet break. Okay.
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay.
My phone was on. My mic was on mute.
Oh, I thought your phone was on vibrate. I was like, where did you find that?
Oh yeah. But no,
the party going on in my room. Yeah. So, what did you think of the Microsoft conference to begin with?
It made me want to actually look into buying the Xbox One. Actually.
No. Don't you
No.
ever say that. Betrayal. Burhan, hit him with it.
Okay, just because you said so, Zach.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
But Xander, what about all the DRM and stuff and other stuff and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've looked into that, but I mean, like, freaking Sunset Riders, man.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive.
That's
Sunset
it.
Overdrive. I'm thinking about Super Nintendo here. But no, Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Beach, for some reason.
I've had some
Really missed
wine.
that show.
Had some wine, so I'm a little sluggish. But no, Sunset Overdrive is it looks like a fucking phenomenal title, man.
It does. The funny thing though about the conference that kind of me and Ollie were just thinking about is still stuff. The one is that he tried. It's like he had a Bill Gates book of cool. He cut out in jeans and a t-shirt. He was like, "Hey guys, we apologize here with Microsoft for being some douchebags last time, and we know the importance of gaming because we know just like you, we're gamers too. We want to make sure that we have a gaming product that's up there for each and every one of you." And he's in a t-shirt. And then, what was that other t-shirt he was wearing? What was the phrase on it?
Was it ID at Xbox?
So that was that old guy with the bald head with very shrimpy arms who had that one. And it's like there was a dress code and everyone had to wear jeans and a t-shirt with some funny slogan on it. Some weird
Sounds lame.
It was hilarious because they just looked really out of their element. And Phil did look like he worked out at the gym quite a bit. So, but they announced a few things. They announced the new Dead Rising DLC, of course, which you can buy now. It's the EX Plus Alpha and Ultimate Edition Ultra.
Ultra EX Plus Alpha.
There you go.
Get it right.
Overjoyed.
I'm kind of excited about that. I'm a sucker for like old Capcom fan service, so being Akuma and killing a bunch of zombies sounds kind of fun.
You mean old as in like it was better then, or that it just doesn't exist now?
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist now. But it makes me reminisce on the good old days of the early 90s.
What else?
I was waiting on Resident Evil 7, but okay.
So what did from that E3 Xbox conference and apart from
the new Tomb Raider.
Yes. Oh yes, definitely.
That new Tomb Raider, it gave me goosies.
Did Laura Croft make you swoon?
Lara.
It just it's not so much like it's Laura Croft, but it was just I love the direction that they're doing with Tomb Raider now, and it's just that trailer just fucking got me, man.
All the hipsters call her Laura, Ollie, just so you know.
Wow.
I thought it was Lara.
Lara Croft.
Lara.
They call her Laura, all the hipsters from Square Enix. Like, Laura is a woman.
Are you sure they're not just dyslexic or something?
I think everyone Square Enix is dyslexic. They gave us Final Fantasy like 12 and 14 and 25 and 150.
Hey, don't knock Square. I will stab
Square
you.
knocks themselves when they released those shitty Final Fantasy titles.
Yeah, well.
See, I have to admit, I love 10. Final Fantasy 10 is great.
10 was
After that...
12 was awesome.
I haven't...
The only thing I liked about 12 was the battle system. I didn't really like the characters too much.
See, I hated the battle system in 12. It pissed me off.
13 had
Battle system
awesome
pissed me off too.
cutscenes.
That was it.
See, in 12, everything attacked you at once, and you just had these weird gambit things you had to play around with. I played for maybe an hour, then I gave up.
Oh, you got farther than I did. I couldn't even get past the tutorial.
So yes, we saw a few like other little additions on the Xbox conference. So let's go around the horn. Jamie, what did you think about the Microsoft Xbox conference? Did you think that they did exactly? Did they like kind of bring gamers back to their franchises, to their consoles? You know, they've still got the Microsoft exclusive content, of course. You get they get the first dibs on DLC basically. They showed a couple of new games. And also some rehashes with the new Halo games, which Zach, you did make light on previously, that now it allows us to kind of play Halo 2 again on an online server when, that wasn't possible because they decommissioned it, of course. So that's a good thing as well. But did it wow anybody? Did that conference go, wow, that's amazing, Microsoft stole the show?
I do have another game to mention that I was really excited about, and that was the bringing back an old IP, and that was Phantom Dust.
That makes me sound like I'm a druggie, but I don't know what Phantom Dust is.
Yeah, same here.
It was a really fun. I'm not a big card game person. I'm not a big Magic the Gathering kind of person, but it was a really fun RPG
Betrayal!
card game based.
Betrayal! Betrayed me!
That was for Vooch.
But it was nice to see Phantom Dust coming back because that could be the shoehorn of bringing some old Xbox IPs. Like, wouldn't it be nice to see a Jada Empire 2?
How about a Beyond Good and Evil 2? How about a Shenmue 3?
Beyond Good and Evil 2, please. If there's any.
Exactly.
Wait, which one?
I agree on that. I think in terms of possibilities, it seems that they are going a step in the right direction. It's a shame they didn't talk about the whole DRM thing, and if they're actually going to be revoking that. The other news to sort of like come out from that conference as well is, we're getting a bit more of a concentration on the Microsoft IPs in terms of their gaming styles. There's the new variation of an old classic, of course. Lionhead Studios is bringing Fable Legends, which you could play a good guy and a villain in this, and it's more sort of co-op multiplayer going on there online. And does anyone care about this?
I do.
I'm a Fable fan, I have to admit.
I want to play with my girlfriend, and I want to be a bad guy and just be a dumbass.
That's another series getting run into the ground. Why the fuck did they make the sequel, the Fable Connect game? What the fuck?
I saw that, and I remember when they released it for $40, I was just like, that's too much.
Yeah. I love being a woman in that game, and like kind of giving her a backstory where she was like this slut, but she was really nice to people, so it kind of balanced out.
Man, you're weekend.
And I don't know, then I saw that fucking Connect thing, and I was like, these people don't even care about this series anymore. They only care about money.
I just want to hear more stories about your female being a slut. And
yeah,
dude, she was a
skank. Basically, Pretty Woman. That's
weekend.
No, hey, don't degrade my fucking Fable character by comparing her to Pretty Woman. She was a nice, respectable woman.
But she was also a whore.
But she was a slut in her off time.
I thought it would be a compliment,
No, because she's Pretty Woman.
Hey,
in Pretty Woman, her life, she's just a skank. She's a slut. That's the whole story. my character, she would like help people out and shit, and then side she would be a slut. So you gotta like praise her for being like a hero first.
Yeah, bro.
I did have
Just like red versus blue so quickly.
We'll slap the hot dog. So
Yeah, so what?
going on from that, Zach, would you purchase Halo? Well, no, not Halo. Would you purchase the new version of this Fable Legends? Would you just to the point to have your female slut turn into a villain?
Yeah, you know, if it's I didn't get to see this game, so but if it's like the other ones, then I'd give it another chance. I do want my favorite Fable game was the original one on Xbox. I thought out of all of them that was the most like in depth. So I remember there was like this one sword when I was playing that game that I had to find like these fucking gauntlets so I could pick the sword up because it was like too heavy for my character. And I don't remember them doing that in any of the other games. So I feel like that game was like the most in depth and the most like creative one.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't marry a dog in the other ones.
So I want to play the remake of that one, but I would give it another chance. I don't know, that Connect thing, I'm just like, you know it's going to be shit. I went to the store the other day, they had a Harry Potter Connect. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you, it's like, oh, I have a great series of whatever, books, you know, fucking game, whatever. Oh, let's make Connect, and you know it's going to be shit.
It's just actually quite funny. I could picture you just going, Connect, fuck you.
Yeah. Everything on Connect is shit.
Like when play on Connect, fuck you, man. I'm done with my game.
In the dumpster dove at some GameStop dumpster, and there was like 120 copies of Connect Adventures in the garbage.
Did you take them all and like give away a treat?
I wasn't the one there, but my buddy, yeah, he took them all, yeah.
Trick or treat. No, I don't want it.
Yeah, if you guys ever saw the first Scary Movie, there's like a bear who walks by the character, and he's like, can I have $1? And she's like, here's a sandwich. And he fucking throws it back. He's like, I said $1, bitch. And that's exactly what it would have been like.
I said a candy apple. Well, this is healthier. Fuck you. So yeah, moving on from that. You know, it does look good. I don't know what they're going to do with this. It's kind of with the Fable stories. It is kind of copy and paste. I do have fun with them. Ollie wants the game to actually have the option to marry your dog. I don't know why. Maybe he's into that. I'm just saying, Ollie. Maybe you want to have some human-dog hybrid.
Hey, you got to resurrect your dog, or resurrect lots of people, or keep money.
And what did you choose?
Of course, keep the money. Who cares about dead people? I'm alive.
You always play the villain in these games, don't you? If you get the option to be good or bad, you just chose to be bad.
In the third one, you kind of have to be a dick, or you lose at the end. Spoiler alert.
Oh, no, actually you don't. I found a way around that.
What? How?
I did busking. I just went around and did loads of busking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're saying you paid the debt yourself?
Yeah, I basically lowered all the rent. And,
oh, okay.
I lowered the taxes, I upped the rent, and then I went and did busking. And that way people weren't pissed at me, and I made loads of money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I went out and lost my friend, and for some reason my brother, who was a complete and utter douchebag, redeemed himself. I will rule with you, brother. Oh. Please don't kill me. So that's another big thing, and it's kind of Microsoft's go-to thing, and their other go-to thing, of course, was Halo. And you know, the lady from was it 313 Studios? Is it?
Yeah, 343 Studios.
That was it. She looks kind of baked out today. I don't know what's happened. Maybe there's less makeup. Last time I saw her, she was like really hot. This time, she just looks really just. Like,
man, judging a woman on her appearance, shame on you.
Well, she knows
nothing. Shame on you.
She knows nothing about gaming. She's a
betrayal.
She's a used car salesman. She was terrible. And plus, it's the only thing I looked at when I was listening to the Halo stuff. But yeah, I had to listen to her talk. I just didn't.
Yeah, it's like if you want to talk about games in front of people and you don't know shit about games, and you're a woman or a guy, you better be insanely fucking good looking.
Yeah, no, it was. You know, going on from that actually as well. We will talk about the Sony press conference because that we were saying that like Phil Spencer.
Oh, that chick! Woo!
No, but if you went for like Phil Spencer came out and he's standing there looking just really cut in his top and stuff like that, trying to show off his muscles even though he knew shit about gaming. It's like, yeah, we love you guys and we want to make loads of gaming IPs for you and fuck the TV, fuck everything. I know we developed this for so many fucking goddamn years, but we don't care. We just want to make games for you. And I have no fucking clue what games are about. I'm just going to talk about games. And I love games.
Finished.
In game. Yeah.
Fatality.
Yeah, the fatality. Yeah,
don't even get me started on the new Mortal Kombat.
Go on, Xander. Go on.
Okay. The new Mortal Kombat looks like a DLC for the last Mortal Kombat that just came out.
I just wonder how Sub-Zero came back to life. That's kind of weird. Isn't he dead?
There's 2 Sub-Zeros.
Yeah, but they both died.
No,
well, I mean, it's not even that, but like, did you see the 2 new characters that were showing, that fairy chick and the dude that had the midget? Well, I shouldn't say midget. I shouldn't say midget. I should say small person.
I thought I was a kid.
It's a small person on his back. It was just like, this isn't Mortal Kombat. Like, when they would show that, I was just like, what the fuck,
well, where I will go and kick your ass. Yeah, I know, it did look a bit lackluster, I have to admit. I mean,
you saw the movie for it, and it showed, like, them using the elements, like Sub-Zero turning a tree and freezing it and hitting Scorpion in the face with a branch. I'm like, that's fucking cool. But then they showed actual gameplay, and I'm like, this is Mortal Kombat 9. That's all it is.
Let's talk to go around the panel on this. And did you see the Mortal Kombat 10 footage that they did, like talking about showing the gameplay and stuff? And I have to agree, Dan, it didn't really show the Xbox One's graphical, kind of capabilities, or even the PlayStation 4's for that matter. It just looked like it was a Xbox 360 game. So, Anina, what did you think?
Sorry.
I just kind of zone out with
line.
Dan's voice.
Line.
Well, you're listening to Dan's voice and it kind of lulled you to sleep.
I haven't seen much of the Mortal Kombat, I have to admit, but to me it just looks like the same. More of the same. There's nothing new or exciting, really.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. For me, those games are the kind of games you go to a party and then everyone has a tournament of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone has a button bash, and then someone wins.
Zach has a button bash.
I do. It involves my penis.
But no, I thought Mortal Kombat 9 was a really good title. I thought it was bringing back Mortal Kombat for what it was. And I was hoping that Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 10 would play on that, but it's just like they're staying in the safe mode and they introduced those 2 new characters, and they were like about as memorable as the PS2 characters in Deception. And it was just like, I saw that fairy chick, I'm like, oh, right, this is the next Bo Raicho. Who the fuck cares about Bo Raicho? Really?
I care about Bo Raicho, okay? Who's Bo Raicho?
He's the drunk
Exactly.
guy.
Aren't they making a new movie? I think it's just
He's
to make
the Mexican equivalent of Baraka. Yeah,
it was just really disappointing, especially seeing that movie. I mean, the movie, apart from the really out of place rap music that they played.
Oh, that was an awesome song.
It was just so weird. It was so weird hearing what was his name? Who was that rapper? Yin Yang or whatever the fuck his name was.
I don't know who the fuck. I can't rappers today. I usually just call them all 45 cents and then 25 cents and 10 cents.
But no, like, seeing that video and seeing how, like, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be the next step for Mortal Kombat, and then they show it, and it's just, it'd be like watching Mario Galaxy, and they're like, alright, here's Mario Galaxy, and you see Super Mario World.
Yeah, I know, it's in terms of it, it's like showing, say, Mario Kart 8 and then giving you Pokemon Rumble.
But no, I will say that if you guys would admit too, a lot of the stuff that we saw was, we didn't really see any gameplay of new games coming out. It was mostly all CG.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I was really
That's something that always disappoints me is they make all these announcements, but instead of actually showing us in the gameplay, it's just something they whipped up with cutscenes from the game or whatnot. That's pretty cheap.
And Phil Spencer in his ripped shirt. Just like standing there going, hey, look at my glistening muscles.
I think you secretly fancy him, Burr.
I do. The thing is, I want to basically cut his face off and have his face.
Oh my god.
I secretly want to be Phil Spencer.
What kind?
Why?
No, you don't want to be him. You just want to wear his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the? No, that's Hannibal Lecter style.
It's not. It's because
Well,
You know when I first heard of Phil Spencer, I thought of Phil Spector, and I was like, holy shit, they got Phil Spector out of prison and he's making shit for Xbox.
that's like the ultimate. That's the ultimate, freaking betrayal of Microsoft. Let's get him out.
First a Ramones album, now Xbox One.
Yeah. But yeah, no, in terms of that, I agree. It didn't show us anything new. We got a lot of rehashes. We got a lot of different sort of old IPs, and then basically profusely apologising like it was the worst night of sex they ever had. But in general, let's say, Anina, did you catch the Xbox conference? Did you see any of it? Or from what you read, was there anything that kind of made you excited, or did you just sit there and think it's the same old, same old?
I have to admit, I'm not an Xbox person. I'm more of a PlayStation. So I really looked at the Sony and the Nintendo stuff, and then the independent ones, like the little games. I'm really excited about, like, Inside, the new... what was the first game? Tiny little indie game that's coming out. It looks amazing.
Yeah, no, it's... With that's another thing you've actually highlighted, that both Microsoft and Sony focused on a lot, which was indie developed games. Did you guys notice that, the two indie games that came through?
Oh, I noticed it really big with the PS4, definitely.
Yeah, I did too, yeah.
It excited me.
Same here.
Yeah, so Jamie, what did you think about the Microsoft press conference? Do you think that they are trying to make things a bit better, they're trying to gain the fact that they lost the hubbub from the last year's E3? What hubbub?
I'm not really sure.
Gain the fans, you mean gain the money from their wallet?
Like I said, my stream kept cutting out, so I didn't get to see much of hardly anything. The only thing I really kept up with were the two new press conferences. I think that was the Sony and the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Those were the two I really got to look at. But from what I looked back on from the internet and stuff like that, not really. I don't think they really pulled their weight. I think it was just kind of a whole bunch of stuff that they'd already done.
So Zach, go preach, bro.
Look, listen. Microsoft and Xbox don't give a fuck about anyone. They don't even give a shit about having intelligent thoughts.
But they had T-shirts and swaggy jeans.
I went into GameStop the other day, and you know how they have the same 5-second loop repeat infinitely for all the people don't want to kill themselves to work there. As soon as I walked in, I wasn't paying attention to it, but the guy was like, he's like, yeah, here at Xbox, we care about the gamer first, and I'm like, oh really? That's why this fucking thing that you have, has this fucking television shit on, it has all this trash that has nothing to do with fucking games. So it's like, that's try. What's up?
No, that's so true. They'll throw everything at you except for games.
Yeah, it's like gaming is the third or fifth fucking list. And then this guy has the balls to say it's number one. Yeah, bullshit, it's number one.
But he was
anyway.
Swaggy jeans.
Yeah, they're currently third.
He had a T-shirt that said Limbo.
But anyway, and the one thing I will say is that we talked about this before. Microsoft owns Rare. I think maybe somebody else said it, but I think I had said that I think that the only reason they fucking bought Rare was so that Nintendo couldn't have them anymore. Yeah. And they've done a couple cool things, but I would never buy an Xbox One. I fucking boycott their shit. But I will say, when Kyla texted me and was like, yo, there's a new Conquer game, I was like, what? Fuck, that sounds amazing. No, there wasn't. There wasn't, but she had texted me like, oh, there's a new Conquer game. And I about lost my shit. I've been a Conquer fan since way fucking back on N64. That game is fucking brilliant. And anyway, there's not a new one, but if there's one thing to drag me into their, den of sodomy, would be a new Conquer game.
That said, that's on his actions lying there, getting pumped, just looking at bonkers on the gamepad.
Wait, he's not getting pumped, he's giving it.
Oh, jeez.
The Microsoft house full of gimps. I can see it. But yeah, no, I agree. It was kind of half-assed, but they put them on. And it was just like Conker's in Project Spark. It wasn't. They could have concentrated on making a standalone game in order to entice those fans who enjoyed the character and the IP. When it comes down to it, for me, they didn't wow me at all. They had a few good ideas, but it wasn't anything I sat there and went, oh my god, I'm creaming my shorts. Me and Ollie literally had the Microsoft E3 conference on in the background. Partly because my son was throwing up, but the other reason is because we weren't really into it, were we?
We were playing Mario Kart, that was more fun.
Yeah, it just seemed like they were half-assing it. You know, they weren't promoting themselves. They just did it to try and win back people that they've lost because of Don Matrick and his caressing of his own penis in front of people like an old age pensioner, revealing himself to the public with why he is basically going insane. So I don't know. To me, they didn't seem like the best in terms of the E3 conferences. Now, moving on from that, let's talk about the other developer, of course, Sony, who had their conference. We were supposed to touch on it, of course. We were going to do an episode after the Sony conference, but kind of things got in the way of that. So we'll talk about that today. What did you guys think of Sony? Did you think that Sony... Was it one of the best conferences that you've seen? I know, Jamie, you were saying a lot about it on Twitter. How you felt that they actually single-handedly won the show.
God, I thought they fucking brought it. They fucking brought their game face. I love Sony's presentation. I liked Sony's presentation. From everything that I'd seen about the others, to me, Sony was the only one who was like, oh my god, look, new games, not sequels. Well, one of the only ones, at least. And I liked the games that they put out. It seemed the new games that they were putting out, I liked what they were showing. My only problem is what everybody else has been saying, is where's the gameplay? You know, okay, yeah, these trailers are really cool, but what's the gameplay like? Very true. So what about yourself, Travis? What did you think about it? What did you think about what Sony was doing? Do you think they brought it, as Jamie said?
Oh man, they really brought it. In fact, I'm even more motivated now to invest in a PlayStation 4 in the near future. And of course, I've talked about this previously here in the episode, where they've also announced that Vita TV is coming to the West in the form of PlayStation TV, so where you can actually play Vita games on your HD television. So I think that's exciting. I mean, they've really brought it this year. I mean, they brought it last year by basically slamming Microsoft, and they did it again this year.
You know what made me laugh? They did the total opposite of what Microsoft. They basically, Microsoft tried to focus more on games. Sony actually focused on gaming and TV, if you noticed. You know,
yeah, it's true.
They did the exact opposite that they did last year, because okay, we've got all these shows, we've got Powers, Brian Michael Bendis was on there going, hey, look at me, I'm rich and I have loads of money, and I produce a show about superheroes. You like superheroes, don't you? You fucking people. It was, you know, I am producing this, I'm executive this. We got a great show run, and I'm doing shit. Oh, I'm just gonna stand there and say this is a great show now. Fuck you. Where's my money? It was literally, it was quite funny, because I was sitting there, for the majority of Sony's E3 presentation, all I kept seeing was guys in suits. You know, the majority of the COO woman telling people figures. You know, he was like trying to sell, was like, hey, when I first worked for Sony, I was basically doing these, bringing over American games, converting them to Japanese audiences, and look at me, I'm in a suit. And I'll tell you how many figures we've got of how many billion people use our billions of technology, our billions of servers, because we're Sony. And it made me laugh. It really was just sitting there. I was like, you can tell this guy has no fucking clue about what he's saying, but it's like, these are the figures, see you later.
You know, the fun bit probably, just before he kind of introduced Mortal Kombat,
yeah,
he said fatality, whereas anyone who sees it knows it's finish him. And then in the actual trailer, it says fatality in exactly the same way. Like he'd watched the trailer and went, yeah, I can pull this off as my knowledge.
Yeah. This is my extent of gaming knowledge.
Well, after you do it, though, it says fatality. Like, after you've done it in the game.
I know the way he sounded like he was having sex with someone. It was like, fatality. You know,
Oh my god.
It was kind of homoerotic. I laughed.
Wait, how is that like he was having sex with someone?
I don't know. This is burn. Don't.
It was kind of,
Just a turn off 101.
it was kind of like he was having vinegar strokes. You know,
He was in the vinegar jokes.
yeah.
That's like what, that's the point of return.
Yeah, that's jizz face. Do you know when you're like going, ah? And he was like, fatality.
No, it's not a much shot. It's like when there's no turning back. You're gonna finish.
Sex with Zach Latour. But yeah, so exactly what he said, finish him. That's what he was implying. But yeah,
It was.
but it was kind of funny because I sat there and it seemed like he was trying to convince us how amazing and understanding he knew about, you know, gaming and stuff, while standing there in his Chanel suit and having his earpiece on, being fed every little bit of lines that could possibly matter as he talked to everybody. It's like, hey, I'm introducing myself in games, but I'm in a suit.
Yeah, he never said he was a gamer, though.
No, he didn't. And I agree with you on that one. He didn't say he was a gamer. He kind of told us a load of figures, got off the stage, you know, and just left it at that. But it was some good conversation. It wasn't the most entertaining E3 presentation, but Sony did bring it.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of what they had, in terms of the content, in terms of the games, and even the Oculus Rift rip-off that they've got working on at the moment. And it seems like they were going all out trying to be Nintendo.
No.
No, because they were screaming about innovation. Do you know what I mean?
That's a buzzword they use.
You know,
what have you done today? Innovation. Okay.
Honey, you've been fired for your job. No, that was purely innovation. Honey, I'm leaving you. Well, that's innovation.
Well, I was going to say I want to be in a minority and say I didn't really like the Sony press conference. I thought it was the weakest out of the three.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to agree. I'm excited about Sony.
I mean, I can understand people's, anticipation for it, but it was just like, out of the three, I mean, I really like Nintendo's the most because, like I said, it was a 3-day event. It was more than just a 45-minute, hoopla. But it was just like the games that they introduced, the only ones I was really excited about was the indie titles. Like everything else, I mean, I thought the Order was kind of nice. I thought the
Again,
successor,
it wasn't game footage, was it? It was more that.
Yeah, it was all CG, and then they talked about the success for the Demon Souls, the Bloodthorn or whatever it was called. That looked cool, that was really cool. But then again, I was just kind of like, I've been so burnt with Sony, like showing footage and not knowing if it's gameplay or CG. I can't trust them.
I think that the big thing as well, they didn't really. They talked a lot more about figures. They talked a lot more about TV, but they did show that they were trying to be more innovative. That they were trying to give you more for your money.
And I was gonna say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I am not excited, and I'm not, freaking coming my jammies over The Last of Us HD or Grand Theft Auto 5. I really don't care about
that. As I said, mate, I'm not. You know what I feel like in terms of having rehashes of games on consoles when they've only just been released. I think there should have been a bit more time. And in terms of Last of Us, it does seem that Sony's kind of padding themselves out a little bit. It's kind of a Microsoft tactic in a sense. That they're trying to pad the library out with old sort of, not even old, with established.
It's only like over a little bit of a year old, but
yeah.
I mean that's
established classic.
One of the things I don't like about Sony, and I love Sony. I'll go on the record and say that. I mean, I love the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and I will eventually own a PlayStation 4. But one of the things that really grinds my gears is this whole HD remake thing. Because, I mean, if you think about it, and this is me putting my conspiracy hat on, okay, when PlayStation 3 came out, it was able to play PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. Okay, then they started making bigger hard drives, and they started getting rid of the option to play PS2 games. Now, that sucked. Now, with that being said, ironically, the same time that the PS2 games were no longer able to play on the PS3, they started making these HD remakes, like Okami and Final Fantasy X and all these other games, and it was just like, I could see in between the lines, and I'm like, you know what, they're taking away backwards capability to shell out HD remakes to make more money on old IPs.
No, I agree with you.
I agree. That's the one thing I don't like about the PS4 is that it's not backwards compatible.
But
when we got the PS4, I mean, when we got the PS3, I was so excited to get all the old, you know, PS1 and PS2 games out.
And it's a huge scheme. It's a huge scheme to help.
Purely game-wise, the games I want to play the most are on the Sony this year.
And like I was saying, it's a big scheme because what is Sony trying to push right now? The PS Now. And what does the PS Now play? It plays PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games. And it's just like, you know what? They took away the backwards capability to help sell the streaming service to make more money when they could have just kept it the same, but they didn't want to because they don't want to lose the money in their paychecks.
That is true. But purely, which games I want to play the most, it's still Sony, and it's been Sony for years, in my book. Nintendo has had gens as well, but again, I've never been drawn to, for a second, to even buy an Xbox. If I'm completely honest. There's not been one game that's made me go, oh, no, maybe I should get an Xbox.
Well, I mean, I really think when it comes down to it that, like, the PlayStation and Xbox are always clashing heads. Nintendo will always have that faithful fan base. They're like the Disney of video games.
That's very true. I mean, even their 45-minute video was just, it was unbearably cute.
I agree because of the Rule 34s of both companies.
Yeah. It's just, and like I really liked Nintendo's E3 because they were poking fun at themselves in the beginning of it with the whole robot chicken thing, and then they continue with the Treehouse event. I mean, and if you guys are listening or you guys I'm talking to, if you hadn't had a chance to watch the Treehouse event, it was so nice, and I really hope that Microsoft and PS4 take advantage of this because it really helps shed new light on the games coming out. It was not just like they showed you a movie and they were like, all right, well, that's it. It was like they went through like 2 or 3 days talking to the developers, showing more gameplay, having tournaments. It helped educate you, and I think that's the biggest thing at E3 is education, you know, and I really think that was something that Nintendo needed to do anyway because a lot of people that rag on the Wii U, 9 times out of 10, they don't have a Wii U and they don't understand how the console works.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really agree on the fact that the one thing I have to admit was the difference between Nintendo and everybody else was Nintendo knew how to entertain. I was kind of focused on their presentation a lot more than what was Sony and Microsoft's. But again, I'm not going to be judging, you know, the way I see it is I can't judge it by the showiness. I have to judge it by what each company is going to give the fans. And I feel like out of everyone with Sony's presentation, I may be wrong, but with Sony's presentation, they have a lot more going on. So you're getting a lot more for your buck with the PSN Plus subscriptions because you're now getting streamed TV, you're now getting streamed media that comes along with those subscriptions. You're getting free games, and you're also getting online multiplayer on the PS4, along with a few other little extra bonuses which they said they're going to be working on. You've got PlayStation Now, which is apparently going to allow you to stream a lot of old content via the Sony TVs, isn't it? Via the PS Vita, via the Vita TV, and also via Sony's other platforms. So that's a nice little positive. They're also they're talking about the new games that their partnerships with indie studios, and also the fact that they're getting a lot more first IPs out there, rather than rehashes, is what Jamie has said. So to me, it does look like Sony has actually stands out a lot more, and they're putting together more innovative kind of patterns. Yes, they are copying other people, like the 3D sort of machine, the visual effects machine that they're touting is pretty much the Oculus Rift. But let me throw it over to you, Zach. What did you think? Did you think that Sony kind of impressed you with their presentation?
It wasn't bad. I'm going to say that the one that I thought was the best was Nintendo's. It was really funny, and I laughed a lot. I like the robot chicken type stuff. But the only game in the entire thing that I was like, yeah, I'd buy that after seeing it was The Order. I don't know why. I really like the trailer for that game.
It looks very kind of a mix between Dishonored and kind of Bioshock.
That's exactly what I thought was Dishonored. Let's just hope it doesn't have a sucky ending like that game. Good God.
I actually played through that game twice, and I got the good and bad ending. And
they're both sad.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. They're not that great. But the game was actually pretty good. I think the lead up was pretty great. I don't understand why you would actually get a game over sequence because you jumped into the bathtub with someone. Yeah, I did.
That was, yeah.
I was being a perv. What would you expect? Anyway, looking on that game, that looks impressive. Travis, what did you think? What did you think of the Sony presentation?
Well, I think you've already asked me that question. I said I was really impressed with it. And like I said, a lot of things that they've discussed in their presentation, their immense of work that they're going to have with or connections with indie developers, and it's just doing things that are appeasing to the PlayStation fans, and all that. So I think they did a fantastic job, and some of the games that they're going to be coming out with on the PS4. Like I said, I'm really excited to see what they're going to be coming up with here in the near future. And like I said, it's motivating me to really think about getting their newer systems here. Of course, I need money first, but I'm just saying. But yeah, I think they did a great job this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. To me, it looks as though they've thought this out in a sense, because I know Sony's been going through money troubles, but it's still not stopping them from trying new things. And that's the one thing. It's like, like with Microsoft kind of putting an end to bundling the Kinect with the Xbox One, and they're probably going to be putting an end to a load of Kinect titles. Sony are still trying to put something together, and they're trying to be as innovative as they possibly can be, which is the big thing here. So, Anina, what about yourself?
So Sony versus Nintendo?
No, just Sony in general, their conference. Did anything scream out to you and say, yes, this is amazing, I want to try this out, or were you like Xander and kind of underwhelmed?
I still have to, like I was saying earlier, lean towards Sony. I've been a PlayStation fan for a very, very long time. I agree they are, milking for money. But then again, big corporations do that. I think it's kind of what you get when you have a massive corporation like that. But I can't remember who's making that new game, Bloodborne. I'm really, really excited about that one.
That was Sony.
That's the successor to Demon Souls.
So we're not going to get any more Dark Souls games?
Well, I mean, we'll probably get some more Dark Souls games, but this is like made by the same guy that did Demon Souls. This is pretty much the successor. Which a lot of people have been getting upset about, the fact that it doesn't have Souls in it, but the guy's been doing other games before the Souls series, like Kingsfield and whatnot. It's kind of funny.
I just saw, their trailer, and I loved the look of it, that sort of Victorian, horror-y, gothic-y, steampunky look. Looked fantastic. Again, I'm annoyed they can see any gameplay, but what I saw, I would buy that. I would buy that game in a second, purely from that trailer.
Honestly, if I would have saw a Ni no Kuni 2, that would have won me over. I'm not gonna lie.
That's true.
Okay, so going from that, let's before we go to Nintendo, of course, talk about the EA and Ubisoft conferences. I know, Xander, you've got a big issue going on with Ubisoft. Did you check out their conference?
No, I was sleeping. I just I don't like.
We'll get to you in a second, Ollie.
Oh,
No, Ollie, we'll get to you. Ollie, we'll get to you in a second. Sorry, Oliver's getting jealous. Now,
he just seems to skip over me again. Let's move on to another subject.
we're not skipping over you. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to allow you to be as profound as possible. So, the Ubisoft conference, we had Alicia Tyler doing her thing. I don't know. For me, that conference kind of seemed a bit meh. It was like, yes, we already have Watch Dogs out. This is what we have, and we've got a new kind of fitness game thingy coming out. But it was kind of like them stroking their own penises in a sense. It's kind of what Zach does.
All day.
All day. Was anyone impressed by this, Jamie? Did you? We did talk about this previously on the first show you were on. Did you really like? Was there anything that kind of grabbed your attention and said, "Hey, I enjoy that. I think that's going to be great."
Not really, to be honest. I've actually heard something on the internet, and I'm very upset at Ubisoft right now.
What's that?
Because they basically said that, we're not putting females in our games, really, because they're more difficult to animate.
Yeah, we're only half the population, but don't animate us.
Yeah, and you tell me how much bullshit that is. I'm like, okay, Ubisoft, you just lost some major points with me and a lot of my friends.
You know what? Half the games that probably have females as the lead are probably the Wii U titles that they're sitting on that are not putting out.
Guys, we've got a caller. Caller from the 607 area code. You're on the show.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Hello, am I on?
Yes, you're on. Can you? Who are you, and what did you think of E3?
My name is Nee.
Hello, Nee.
My last name. This is Nee Gar.
You're one of them. Have you? Come on, give us your best shot. What have you got?
What I played that game, The Last of Us. And that chick is really fucking hot in that.
Great. Oh, by the way, next time you call a show, you really shouldn't have your phone number on there because I've got your whole number here. I can be out an entire show just for the entire world to actually look at your troll. Have a nice one.
Bye.
Bye.
Later, you troll or loser.
You know what's really creepy about 18 years old?
And that he actually called in with his cell number.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you let's go ahead and put it out on the air. Why not? Do it.
No. I'm not, I'm known as an angry Joe. I'm not going to do that. But as far as I'm concerned, next time you have to troll somebody, you need to make sure that you don't give your cell number out, because I could easily call you back.
*67 next time, my friend. *67.
Yeah, or you could just...
Don't give them any tips. They need any more tips.
Well, you need these guys' tips. They're kind of slow. Especially if
I think he's one of those guys who are like, if I was to say, I game, yeah, but you're like a girl, so how does that work?
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I only have one brain cell because I have 2 breasts, so I kind of just, look at the TV and hope things happen.
He's pretty colours, right?
Yeah, that's what he does.
He enjoys the colours.
He just enjoys the colours. He's not playing Magic.
Yeah.
He's just looking at the screen and drooling on the floor. So, Ollie, let's do actually, in terms of your Xbox experience and your Sony experience, what did you think? Do you think that Microsoft or Sony, out 2 conferences, did they bring anything new to the table?
With the PlayStation brought some hardware. I mean, yeah, you say it's ripped off, but still, it's new, it's developed.
It's kind of innovative.
Yeah, it's VR goggles. How awesome is that?
Oculus Rift.
So it's VR goggles. Still VR goggles. Probably my favourite thing from the PS3 is if you own a copy of Far Cry, and your friend doesn't, and they're on PSN, you can invite them in and they can play.
So because I don't buy Far Cry anyway, and he will, I can actually play with him.
And the fact is, that's one game they mentioned that on. How many games is that going to be a standard feature? Because it would seem a bit of a waste just to do it for one game.
And they've also talked about PlayStation exclusive DLC as well.
Yeah. So PlayStation just brought more to Xbox. Seemed like they were, look at us, look how cool we are. We aim for the teenage market
with our t-shirts and our jeans.
Yeah, look, we get like 17-year-old boys to like our thing, whereas.
And what was up with all that freaking Call of Duty shit?
I don't know.
The first like 25 minutes to 30 minutes of their presentation was Call of Duty.
See, that's another thing. With the Nintendo and the Xbox, their presentations were basically 20-minute long videos, about 6 of them, whereas the PlayStation was like 400 games and like 10 minutes. or like 20 seconds per video and like 700 of them. I know my numbers are changing each time, but I have the prerogative because I'm playing Mario Kart.
Yes, he can't think and steer at the same time. So what do you guys think of that? Do you think Ollie's right? Do you think they brought a lot more in terms of games and in terms of like peripherals than the other two companies? Anyone now?
No one has an opinion on what I say. They just want me to
any time now.
Please just leave the air. We don't like you, Ollie.
No, I mean, I've said what I thought about Sony. I thought it was a good press. It just didn't make me tighten the pants.
Yeah, it didn't entice you. That's fair. That's a fair judgment. So going on from that, and Ollie, do you know we'll talk a little bit about Ubisoft. Do you think Ubisoft have brought anything to the table in terms of their gaming? And again, Zano, I totally and utterly agree. Oh look, we've got another call. Evil Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Awesome.
Hello, Evil Uncle Phil. You're on air.
Yeah, by the way that you said we have another call, it makes me sound like I'm automatically going to be a troll.
You can be if you want to be.
Yeah, you can be if you want to be.
Alright, at this point, let me get my trollness out. You're a girl, how can you play games? Followed swiftly by, have you heard of the Atari 2600? It's almost as good as the Neo Geo.
Jeez, that's
I like this guy.
Yeah, so, yeah, I can make gaming references, but I'm also awful at just making other references. There's someone recorded a video of me last night. Basically, I went to a rock club, and 4 girls outside the rock club were like 17 years old. So one of my mates turned round to me and said, "Oh, mate, let's record a video." And I went, "Okay then." And he walked me towards him and goes, "You want to meet my friend? He's called Phil. You'll like him." And I turned to them and said,
"Well, it doesn't look like any of you seem to have penises, and I prefer them a lot younger than 17 years old.
Oh my god!
Sweet old down paper boys."
So yeah, and we shot a video like that, and it basically, if you see a 30-something guy with a really bad prepubescent mustache, it really does look like pre-puberty. Just because I haven't shaved in about 3 days, then that's going to be me.
So Phil, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is it a porn stash?
Well, it's really weird. I mean, I'm 32 years old, but for some reason I can only grow the Shakespeare. It's like the moustache and the beard. So it's like if I was a porn star in the 15th century, then I'd be getting so much ass, it'd be unbelievable.
Well,
it'd be like,
yes, you'd be getting a lot of angst.
Yeah, it would be like, verily, do you do bukkake parties?
So, Phil, let me ask you about E3 then. What did you think about Microsoft and Sony's conference, and in your estimation, who's the clear winner?
You see, it's really tough for me. I mean, Microsoft seemed to kind of make a point of turning around and kind of going, "But we're Microsoft." And
did you like their snuggy t-shirts and their nice jeans?
I didn't even see those. I didn't know they had those. I think for that, Microsoft should win. That they have clothing. Sony never had clothing.
Sony just came out there.
E3 runway.
Yeah, at this point, Sony better have dildos and transparent bras, otherwise I'm going Microsoft.
That's a philosophy in life.
Yes.
So
More like micro hard, am I right?
Oh, exactly. At which point Nintendo walk up on stage and bring up 20 Asian girls completely nude, and at which point I turn around and go, I'm buying a Wii.
Oh, wait. Hey, whoa, I'd buy that.
Yeah, just stand there and go, so what are the games? I don't care, there's Asian girls naked in front of me, I'm buying a Wii. And the next 20 games they're going to release are all going to be Altered Beast on the Sega Mega Drive. It's actually going to be the cartridge, you won't actually be able to play it on the Nintendo Wii, it will just have the Wii logo on it. I'm just looking at Asian girls naked and rubbing myself stupid. Which makes it very awkward for the childhood party I brought to come and see the Nintendo Wii.
So in your whole sort of advice here, you believe that Nintendo are basically the clear winners here, not just because of the Asian.
I personally think that the clear winners are Commodore for their new 64 computer. Anyone who can create a DOS system like that really has the clear advantage. The fact that you can either go with
Amiga still wins. Amiga still wins, my book.
What can I say? Anyone who can decide, who can go, right, I can either go tape or 3.5 floppy disk is a winner in my book. So.
Yeah, I totally understand that in terms of the estimation. What I was actually saying to the guys here as well, that in terms of like companies, what it seemed to be from Microsoft's point of view was like they were kind of begging people, like, oh yeah, we are sorry, we do care about you, we really do, we didn't mean to rape you.
Yeah, I think Microsoft's argument at E3 was, but Steve Jobs is dead now. I think that was Microsoft's major argument, because we kind of went, well, we lost Bungie, so Halo is just going to be us. So what are the Halo crew doing? Well, they've gone over to Sony. All right, but Steve Jobs is dead.
And we all stole his style, wearing spiky t-shirts.
Yeah, and let's be honest, hippies are queers. We're Microsoft. So
yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that one. No, that Microsoft protection. But in terms like you've got like Sony as well, they came out, they had a no fuss thing, but they kind of reversed things a little bit, didn't they? They had the whole like, oh, it's we've got TV, we're focusing on TV. Look what we can do with TV.
I think the main argument to me is when you look at what Sony did and what Microsoft did, I think the main argument is forget what they're doing against each other. Remember what presentations they gave last year. Simply on the grounds that Microsoft gave such a bad argument, it was like turning around and saying, but there was no Holocaust. And
Hitler was a nice person.
Round and kind of went, there kind of was. And at this point, it's like turning around and going, but brown paper's good. No, fuck you, you're a swat. Green paper's good. And that was the basic argument. It was, both arguments were kind of flimsy in a way this year compared to last year. I mean, who can forget the great way of when Sony came up on stage and said, yeah, we've got an inventive new system of sharing games with your friends, and someone just handed a copy of the game to someone else and then, what do you think? After what Microsoft did. And at that point you kind of went, yeah, Sony won that one by a long margin. There's no way that Sony will ever beat that promotional package of how to share games with your friends. So,
but you know, Microsoft did have some funny moments though. Like when they fucked up big time last year, especially with the whole Killer Instinct thing of just keep taking it, it will be over soon. You know?
But that's the equivalent. That's like turning around and saying, well, here's the new console. It has Down syndrome, but eventually it'll fall over and you'll be able to laugh when they bite their own tongue off. Oh, wow. So,
Stop laughing, people.
and I love the fact that you're having to tell people to stop laughing. But it's just a case of E3 for Sony, Microsoft seem flimsy, and the fact that no one's talking about Nintendo means that there is no flim to see.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
And E3, it seems like a bit of a big letdown. It's like turning around and saying, this year on Minecraft we're adding an extra pixel to our graphics.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's still fun, it's still addictive. We don't care about the graphics, we just want to knock shit apart. It's just fun. So, yeah. There's still nothing more fun in Minecraft. I mean, anyone can build any mod that they want, and it could be the most amazing mod in the world. But there's nothing quite like taking 5 bits of pink wool and 1 bit of red wool and just making a big woolen cock on a server.
See, that's actually interesting how you bring up Minecraft, because just before we went on the air tonight, I posed a question on the Happy Console Gamer Forum. What makes Minecraft so wonderful? Why people are into this game? Because I couldn't quite figure it out. And the reason,
woolen cocks.
Well, the reason I imagine, but the reason why I asked is because I'm trying to help grow my YouTube channel, youtube.com/rosecolored Let's Play, and I've seen a lot of people who are posting videos about Minecraft, and they get a lot of views. And I'm just trying to figure out, it's like, well, what makes this game that enjoyable? I just don't understand it.
Well, Travis, I can help you out on that one as well, because I posted a Minecraft video of me and my kids, and then someone left a comment saying, you guys are shit. And take note, I was playing with a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
You need to teach them better.
Well, one of the series that I wanted to start on YouTube was me just getting absolutely wasted while my friends watched, and them just finding the hardest Minecraft maps, and my way of getting through them is just clearly cheating and just installing rocket launchers and just being being a vindictive prick about it. And just kind of going, fuck you, and just being really drunk while doing it, so I just sound pedantic and just...
It'd just be like 11 drunk guys.
Yeah, it's basically one drunk guy just kind of going, no mortal man can do this. You're all gay and I hope you all get AIDS. I'm downloading a rocket launcher mod. I hope you all drunk drive into an orphanage. Fuck you. And that's the kind of show I want to make, because I want to just get me drunk, kind of getting angry at maps, and then just kind of going, I'm not just slightly cheating by changing it to creative mode, I'm actively drunkenly downloading mods filled with machine guns and rocket launchers, and just finding mods to just completely cheat my way through a map. And that's the thing, the videos for parkour maps I'll do when I'm drunk is just, they're going to be like a minute and a half long of me going, game mode C, fuck this. And then just flying through the entire map and going, I'm done, I'm the greatest in the world.
Well, Phil, I'll give you that chance there. Promote your YouTube channel for us so we can see you basically slag people off and ask them to go and drive to an orphanage. By the way, you managed to successfully have Ollie having to stop himself from spewing coke from his nose.
I just took a big mouthful of coke.
Now we're talking about the soft drink, right?
Yeah. Well, I do have one major regret. I don't actually have a YouTube channel to do this from, but in October, me and one of my friends we're actually doing an online radio show, and it's basically just online radio show, completely uncensored. I know just a shitload of bands who I'm just going to get to come in on the show and talk. And one of the things that I've always hated about like radio DJs, well, apart from their fake radio voice of just, hey, come into the studio, we're going to have lots of fun. Tee-hee-hee. Go kill yourselves.
We're playing the biggest hits from now until midnight.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking like this for some reason at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, you are such a
Hello,
false.
Pop Pickers. I've just had another snort of Coke, and I'm really up and raring to go.
Yes, hello there, Pop Pickers. I've just been in the children's ward, and now 3 children don't know they've been raped. That's what happens when you wear a newborn as a condom to fuck a 2-year-old. Ha ha ha. So.
Beginning of that.
Yeah, so.
Just to note that ITG has no involvement with Jimmy Savile.
Oh, God, no, I'm more of an Ian Watkins guy. Does anyone know when the new Lost Prophets album's going to be out?
Oh, God, yeah. So, Phil, where can we find that show?
Well, the show is going to start in October, and the actual show is going to be a radio show, but with a video element, and one of the things we're going to do, we're going to rent out 2 rehearsal rooms. In the first rehearsal room, we're just basically going to fill it with people who just know me and the band, and it's going to be this uncensored. And there's going to be a lot worse. I'm really holding myself back, would you believe? But it's going to be October, and it's going to be a live YouTube stream, and the basic point of it is just we're going to find stuff on YouTube, and we're actually thinking that the YouTube stream might not work, considering we're going to be looking at some of the funniest porn you've ever seen and just playing it and laughing our asses off at it and just commenting. So we may have to go somewhere else because YouTube don't like titties.
Dailymotion.
Just so you know, in an IGG spectacular, we've actually got another call online. So Phil, hold your horses there for a second. I'm just going to bring this person on. For the 678 area code, you're live on iPod Gameplay.
Yeah, hey, you're gonna have like fucking porn streaming and like cocks on the fucking screen too.
Dude, you know your number is actually on the board.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
Can I get your number?
Yeah, I'll give it to you at the end of the show, so you can troll him if you like, because it's basically there. It's 678.
No, I want his number on the show just so he can wave his American cock in front of a British audience.
Wait. Can we all say together how much we love him? We love you. Thank you for calling.
I love you.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question, dude? When you put this together, when you were putting together that you were going to troll the show, did you think about any of the comedic sort of puns you were going to throw at us, including porn?
No, that's the thing. I honestly didn't call to troll the show. I called because...
No, not you, Phil, not you.
Not you.
I'm talking about Mr. 678 here, because he's just...
No, I didn't put anything together at all. I just fucking called in. I was just like, shit, come on now, let's talk about shit, you know? If you're going to fucking do that shit, you know, the Queen's your uncle.
Uncle.
Okay. Obviously, you're probably intoxicated.
Do you think David Cameron is a lizard man? I think he's part lizard. Do you think Scotland ought to secede from the United Kingdom? I think when it comes... What do you think about Morrissey being sick all the time?
Morrissey's
a video game-based show. You know that, right, pal?
Cock, when my dad's is much sexier, I'm going to grab a beer. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Whatever happened to XTC? I don't see them touring very much these days. They were one of the best bands from 1980s and early 1990s. But you don't see them touring too much these days. And you know, I think New Order, the guy broke his hip, but you know...
You know, they just like the World Trade Center in Columbine and Pearl Harbor. So, you know, one of those things happen. So, back in 30 seconds.
No problem, Phil. Right, so let's continue. This has just been very weird. We've had 3 callers so far. Phil's been awesome. It's probably actually been the funniest one out of the callers we've had.
Do you usually get a lot of trolls?
No, this is a first.
I think it's because we have 2 women on.
Yes, that's what I think it is.
They're just like women. Games
I think
must rebel.
Yes.
No, we're just blowing their minds because this is impossible. You know, we are 2 impossible beings.
I think this show's number's been given to a mental home somewhere.
Yeah, it does.
No, it's probably given some people to the boys to say that they got nothing better to do than call up the mass of people because they're so freaking drunk.
But that was an awesome band from the 80s, whoever he said.
Yes. I think he did say about Morrissey. He did say something about Morrissey, but I didn't understand him because he sounded like Ernest.
Yeah. But let's be honest,
like,
Morty is a massive cunt, so we just don't worry about him.
I think I had a few too many shots of Wild Turkey before he called into the show to sound
I think too. I think he's going to do that and then go and smack his wife afterwards. Now,
how's the trailer park, my friend?
Can I watch him masturbate?
Maybe later. Maybe he'll do a live stream on Twitch using his PlayStation 4.
You're no fun. You're not my real dad.
So let's try and get back on topic a little bit, guys. Nintendo, right? Nintendo did their E3 presentation, and they literally, as Xander pointed out here, they kind of pulled everything together in it. It was very entertaining. There was a lot of it, and they showed off a lot of the games that we were crying out for, like Star Fox U.
Which I'm so excited about.
Legend of Zelda U, where Link's there was a huge controversy going on about Link could be a woman.
Really?
Why not?
I don't know how.
Why does Link have to be male?
That's so true.
Well, because he has been since the 80s.
No, I have no issue with this.
You clearly do.
I don't. This is what people like to publish these days.
Yeah, I do, just simply on the grounds of why change your character, unless you're going to do a full reboot, and if you're going to do a full reboot, then go male, but to continue the story and suddenly have Link have a sex change, it's...
I will say this, this is a totally different Zelda game, because it is going to be open world, and they did look into the inspiration from Skyrim, so honestly, if they had a female heroine, it would kind of make sense making an open world game where you're actually the person exploring Hyrule.
Couldn't they have both though? Couldn't they have allow you to pick and choose your own Link? Maybe you could turn him into some Link Dog Man.
No.
Well, at that point, you just rip out Link. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to play a character in a Zelda game and you're going to make it open world, wouldn't you think that Link is a character that assists you and you just create your own character and just leave it open that way?
That could be another sort of step in the right direction. But this is one of those things that we have been crying out for, because if you've listened to the show before, Phil, you probably know that we've been talking about Nintendo and the whole countless possibilities of them coming out with some sort of MMO open world type game on the Wii U, because obviously the console's there for it. They're doing it on the Xbox, they're doing it on PlayStation. It needs to happen, and by doing it with a Zelda game, I think it would be incomparable to sort of Skyrim. The possibilities are endless. Multiplayer would be a great thing if they could actually literally have people jump in on your game, or even assist you as certain characters in the Zelda universe. I would enjoy this. And
well, why not start a new IP in that case then? And in that case, just basically make an entirely new IP.
Yeah.
And they basically talk about the Legend of Zelda and Link being a hero, and you go past when Link was a hero and he's now a man, but he's not a boy, and you meet him as an NPC.
Yeah.
I will go on the record though and say that they did confirm that was Link.
Yeah.
I think if they made a Zelda game and Link was only an NPC, that would cause so much anger. I think people would be like, what? I think it would just be, again, it would be interesting to me, but for hardcore Zelda fans, that would feel like a betrayal, I think.
Yeah.
Did you just say betrayal?
Yeah.
Although, at the same time, I do see the advantages of making...
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
By the way, folks, we've got another caller. They're coming in by the barrelful. I think people are lonely tonight. Okay, let's get them in. Caller for the 793 area code. You are live and on air.
Yes, we're wondering if you could solve a dilemma that my friends and I have. We're wondering who'd win in a fight, Pac-Man or Mr. T, or if you had to, throw into a Donkey Kong.
Oh, Donkey Kong, strength.
Yeah, Donkey Kong is funky.
You think Donkey Kong would be able to do
honestly,
that?
I've never seen Mr. T throw a barrel.
Well, guys,
honestly, I would say I think Pac-Man would win because he eats his pellets and they're kind of like bath salts, and he likes to eat things.
Yeah, but Pac-Man can't win by giving Mr. T a blowjob, can he?
He would eat his
Well, no,
face, though.
he'd bite it right off, wouldn't he? He'd bite it right off.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't understand sensitivity in lovemaking. Pac-Man would just be ma, you know.
Well, that's why he had to rape Miss Pac-Man and that baby was born. Didn't have a chance to abort it.
Exactly. With Miss Pac-Man, at least she could kind of have the lips to kind of suck on it a little before she bit the thing off.
She got lipstick all over Cubit's nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got gameplay show where rape happened apparently.
Pac-Man. Oh my god.
Oh, it wasn't rape. How can a circular man rape a circular woman? He doesn't have any external extremities to rape her with.
Maybe he's
I think we're thinking a little too much into this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Did he rub his lower lip on her eyeball?
Yeah, that must be it. I think Pac-Man was a fucking Muslim.
Oh my god.
Oh, we do not.
There you go. That's insane and fucking
need to get rid of you now. Goodbye. Oh my god.
Wow. Which other childhood game is going to be, decimated on the show?
I know.
That's the thing. You shouldn't have hung up on him because I had a great argument for that. I would have turned around and go, why would Pac-Man be a Muslim? The hat wouldn't fit him. He's more suited to being Jewish.
The last thing we want to do is try and entertain him. So, I'm glad you didn't get that far.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing. Entertain them, make them feel silly by smashing them verbally, and let them hang up by themselves by feeling fucking silly. And,
wasting our time.
Yeah, and it's fine. I just don't know what to say to the Muslim comment. It's like, for every Muslim person out there, Pac-Man isn't one of you. Anyway.
Well, he could be.
He could be, yeah.
I don't think he has any sort of phenomenation. He's a 2D
character.
Yeah.
No,
he wasn't,
and one that holds near to my heart.
Yeah, it's not as if he's Bomberman or anything. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
It's totally fine. I'm so bemused. Today has been a very fun episode of iEqual Gameplay. So let's bring it back to Nintendo talk. Zach, what do you think of the whole Legend of Zelda open world type game? Are you? It looks like this is going to be set in the same sort of timeline as Skyward Sword. What do you think?
I honestly don't remember the trailer. I was watching it at night when Kyle and I were drunk, so I don't really remember seeing that one.
Well, speaking of drunk, I think we've got a lot of people who are drunk on the show tonight.
Yeah, I think we got people shooting fucking heroin in their dicks.
But yeah, I mean, outside of the MMO,
did you get beaten by a guy called Sausage?
No, that's more magic mushrooms than heroin.
No. My brother basically went by the name of Sausage. Actually, beat a friend of mine. Actually, beat Ollie on Mario Kart.
No one's
by the name of Sausage.
No one's beat me on Mario Kart.
Okay. Anyway, going on that, and people shooting heroin in their dick. What about you, Anna? Did you see the trailer for the new Zelda game? And the one thing that really, did you see the arrow that he shot? It kind of had that whole steampunk.
It's really interesting. It was like some sort of hyper tribal mixed with something. It was really interesting.
Yeah, it looks like
open world makes me happy. Open world gaming makes me very happy.
Was that not the trailer for Destiny?
No, it's...
Sorry?
To me, it seemed like very Final Fantasy-esque, if that makes sense. Sort of like very ritual, mixed with kind of steampunk, mixed with New World technology, in a sense. It didn't seem like... It didn't seem like an actual Zelda game. In all honesty, it seemed like something very new, something very fresh. So I want to see where the story progresses.
As long as it doesn't have that turn-based thing, I think, as long as it keeps away from
turn-based, I agree. The only one that can do that right is Final Fantasy, is the turn-based, I think. No other game can I be asked with waiting to, attack. But yeah, the Legends of Zelda looked beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, until they
again, open world makes me happy. So.
Okay, Jamie, what about you? What do you think about the new Legend of Zelda IP that they'll be producing? Do you think it's going to be something good? Do you look? Are you interested?
Well, my boyfriend has actually started to try and get me into Legend of Zelda. He is a huge Legend of Zelda fan, and he is so excited for this new game. So, I'm hoping that, maybe we can get it at some point. We can both play it together as, him trying to induct me into Zelda and him playing it and screaming at it like I always hear him do, so.
Well, I think it's a good time to sort of come into it as well. And Ollie's, I think, having an epileptic fit, I don't know. He's clapping rigorously. Going on from that, we're moving on to our next game on the list as well. They've showed us a small little glimpse of Star Fox U. Now, Xander, you've been heavily sort of pushing the Nintendo side of things. What do you think of this?
I really think this is the Star Fox game that we've been wanting since Star Fox 64. I think it's going to help utilize the gamepad, which I know a lot of people that have been hating on the Wii U. One of the biggest things they've said is Nintendo needs to drop the gamepad and drop the price. But I think this is going to be the one title, as well as the new Star Fox, Project Robot, Giant Robot, and Project Guard, are really going to help show people what the gamepad has to offer and show that it's more than just a second television screen, but a way to innovate the gameplay that were shown. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot shown with the new Star Fox, but they did show on the Treehouse. They had a 2-hour session with Miyamoto showing game footage of Giant Robots and Project Guard, and it looks phenomenal.
Well, what do you think, Phil? Did you see the new Star Fox game?
I caught a small glimpse of it, and I think the one thing that I take away from Nintendo is the fact that they tend to have repetition. They still wind around kids, but the one thing they are very good at is innovation. I mean, the 3DS is just big proof of that. Being able to produce 3D technology without the need of 3D glasses, it just makes you go, holy crap. So the fact that they can turn around and they're trying something new, they're willing to put all their chips on a single bet and see if it works. So when it comes down to it, if you can make Star Fox and you can make it in a way that the screen is really touch active, I think the way that you do that is that, for example, if you're basically firing rockets, what it does is, the way to make Star Fox U interesting is that if you fire a rocket after just firing the laser so much, is what it does is on the screen it goes to slow motion, and then on the screen you actually have to guide the rocket into something. So you're actually working up, down, left, right to guide the rocket into a big enemy or something. Make it like the Death Star theme from Star Wars. If they're gonna go in that way and make it so that the screen is useful to the point where you have to look down, it feels like you're looking at the controls of the ship that you're working with, and make it just feel intuitive as well.
Yeah. Now, I will mention one other thing too, and I think I'm going to ask all of you guys. Other than the biggest argument with Nintendo is support a third party, but the second biggest argument, in your opinion, what is it? Other than third party, what's the one thing that most people say Nintendo needs to do?
I don't think that Nintendo needs to do.
Well, freedom of well, I think this. What I would call is the first biggest thing, because I don't have a second. The second for me is just a moot point. The first biggest thing for me would be to turn around and say, allow people to record YouTube videos of their games, because this is why Nintendo died on their ass up to this point, and this is why people talk about Xbox One versus PS4, because no one's talking about what Nintendo's doing, because Nintendo have made a point of limiting gameplay on YouTube, and have just basically made gamers in general turn away from Nintendo because they weren't willing to give that freedom to the gamers.
Well, one of the things I was going to say that I thought is really comical is most people say either that Nintendo needs more third-party support or they need new IPs. And a lot of people mention that they're like, oh, all they do is make Zelda games, Mario games. Nintendo really needs to come out with the new IPs. Well, the reason why I thought it was funny is because there has been a couple of new IPs that's been mentioned, one being Splatoon, which is a third-person shooter online team deathmatch Command and Conquer game, and the other one is a more steampunky 3DS game called Project Steam. What I think is really funny about that is they introduced these two IPs, and the same people that complained that Nintendo doesn't have any new IPs were complaining that the Project Steam was bullshit because they wanted a remake of Majora's Mask on the 3DS. Bravo, people.
I thought
bravo.
Really impressed with it. That looked like a really interesting concept, really, unique character design. Yeah, I was really impressed with Splatoon, what I saw of it. Even though I'm not really massive on co-op games.
I think Splatoon interests me more than like any Battlefield or Call of Duty because it makes you think of those old school like Serious Sam, Team Fortress type first person shooters that we grew up loving, like Quake and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was very different.
Exactly.
What I thought was so funny, and what I'm mentioning is it's funny that the same people that are complaining about new IPs are the same ones that are complaining that they wanted a freaking remake of Majora's Mask on the 3DS. I'm like, can't fucking Nintendo win, guys?
Exactly. I think basically when it comes to Nintendo, when it comes to first and third person shooters, they want games like id Software used to make, like Wolfenstein 3D and the original Doom and the original Quake and just that kind of stuff. It's a bit weird. People want Nintendo to be the retro gaming console, and it just won't be that. And with the game that you're talking about, what is it, Splatoon?
Yeah,
I
Splatoon.
have not seen any. I've not seen anything from that, so I'm going to have to look that up. But you mentioned that it was a mix between like first-person shooter, and you said it had a Command and Conquer feel to it.
It's kind of like Call of Duty for kids.
I mean, the best way to describe it is you're controlling these little characters, these little cartoon characters, and they have these super soakers that shoot out ink. Well, like what happens is, like, instead of killing the other people, what you're doing is you're filling the board up with your colored ink, and whoever has the most ink on their board wins. Well, what makes it interesting is when that ink fills up, your character can turn into a squid, which adds more strategy to the team deathmatch, because because you can like dive in and swim within the ink and jump off the walls and shoot someone in the face, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, because when you said that, I thought of an old game that I used to play. It was a game in 2002. I can't remember the name of the game, but it was a great game in a way, but it was really weird in the way it worked. You used to be able to have 32 players play first-person shooter, and you had 32 players against one player. And the one player played it as a real-time strategy, while the 32 players played it as a first-person shooter. And the 32 players played it as they were the rebellion. And you had this one guy constantly building buildings and all this kind of stuff, and your job was to go in, take over the buildings or destroy them and whatever. And it was an old PC game from 2002. And I'm surprised that's never taken off, the idea of one guy versus 32 and he can still win, where one guy plays the real-time strategy and the other guy plays first-person shooter. And I would love to see that on a console setting, because could you imagine a Call of Duty where you had a Call of Duty real-time strategy mixed with the first-person side?
Unfortunately, though, with the crowd that the Call of Duty and Battlefield fall in, I'm not knocking anybody that enjoys those games. I don't think something like that would sell well. I think I would be very interested in it. That's one of the reasons why I really like Splatoon, is because it's taking that online multiplayer shooting genre into a different direction. Because, I mean, when you watch Call of Duty or you watch Battlefield, what is it? It shows a guy walking very slow with a explosion happening behind him with dubstep womp-womps. That's all it is. It's cut and dry, you know?
Yeah. It's either that or some guy pretending he's PewDiePie and just constantly screaming over everything. And when it comes to PewDiePie, I just want to punch him in the face anyway.
We all punch him in the face.
Yeah. What do I want to do? Well, I'm going to play a game and I'm going to scream for 20 minutes. Well done.
He used to actually be funny. He used to do actual legitimate. He used to be funny. And he didn't used to over joke and force himself. It used to be really sincere. Like, if you go back and watch his Amnesia playthrough, it was really sincere, and that's when I got into PewDiePie. And over the playthroughs and everything, I've just seen this extreme just downgrade.
Yeah. Well,
I've never actually watched them.
That's it. I watched him, and I went back and watched like earlier stuff and watched later stuff, and he just ended up annoying me. But that's why I like the Yogs cast, because when you look at the actual Yogs cast, they don't do the screamy stuff. And if they do the screamy stuff, they do it jokingly to just basically take the piss out of the guys who do that. And it's just funny. I mean, you used to watch some of the stuff they used to do, and they used to just sit there and they used to just make just really awful jokes and while they're playing, and it was something that I appreciated because they're just willing to sit there and go, well, we're supposed to be family friendly, but we still by accident occasionally say fuck, and it's a whole thing, and they don't realise they're doing it. It's like, oh fuck. It's just like with what was it? It was Lewis who one time during a fight with zombies, he killed about 3 of them, and he had enough time where 4 of the zombies were following him that he put up a sign saying, "Leave me alone, dickheads," and put that on his Minecraft server, and he actually had time to write, "Leave me alone, dickheads," and he was surprised that they didn't leave him alone, and it was just such silly... It ended up, basically the Yogs cast is the Monty Python of gaming. And that's why I enjoy them. They're just so ridiculously silly that whenever there's a big fad on YouTube, they're the first guys to play along to that fad, but they don't play along in a way to get viewers. They play along with it in a way to take the piss out of it and just point out why it's stupid.
Now, one game I did want to mention about Nintendo that I'm really excited about is the Mario Maker game coming out. The game where you can actually make your own Mario levels and it'll be online. Yeah. You can share with your friends. This is something, that me and my girlfriend were talking about that we're really excited about because, you know, you can sit there and you make your own levels, and she does a lot of like Let's Plays and live streams. And I was just like, wow, I can make these amazing, ridiculously hard levels, and she can like go on her Twitch and make live streams of speed running them. I'm really excited about that. And they also added that not only will you be able to make your own Mario levels, but you can also edit your own music. And they're in the talks of adding other Nintendo themed things, like even Zelda stamps and stuff like that to add into your levels. I mean, I'm really excited about that.
Well, the one thing that I see in this game, which is, it actually makes me laugh because this isn't new. You know, Capcom came up with the same concept with Mega Man Universe that they've released.
It's Little Big Planet.
I can say as well.
Yeah, this is
Time Splitters is another great example.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like this is kind of the game that we've all been waiting for in a sense. Like we get to play around and mess around with our friends, and it's got that retro feel, but it also you can actually use it in like the same variation as Super Mario Brothers U. You know, it's something which I think people will enjoy. I think it could have the same kind of niche value that Minecraft has, in a sense where you can literally just go around, make like fucking warp pipes that look like penises, and have a big laugh with your friends trying to get them to dodge a level that they have no freaking idea how to complete. You know, you can make it severely difficult. But yeah, no, I can see the value in it. I think it's going to be something awesome. I don't know if they're going to put it as a full game or if it's just going to be a downloadable component. Who knows? But it looks like that'd be interesting.
See, for me, these kinds of games, I can understand why people like them. But for me, as soon as I play a game like that where you have to make your own level, I go, what? Is the level already there? It feels like too much hard work.
Well, that's the great thing.
If I wanted to be an architect, I would have done that with my life. Can I just get a game, please, and play that?
That's the thing. When it comes down to Mario Maker 3D, it looks like from the levels that are already in there, it looks like they've already included like the Mario trilogy on top of Super Mario, like Super Mario World. So it looks like they've already included like 4 games from the original Nintendo and the SNES. And they give you the option to do that. So you have the ability to play 4 games already.
Fair enough. But from what I saw, it just seemed like, build your own, then play. And for me, I don't have enough time in my life to build my games, then play them. I just want to play them.
Well, it goes to the whole online thing. Like I was saying, like, I could see myself with Burhan being like, hey, Burhan, I made this really hard-ass Mario level. I share it to him and he plays it. That's really, really cool. And it's nothing new. I mean, Little Big Planet has been doing it now since, like, 2005. Like, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's nothing new.
To me, it always reminds me of a level in Doom 2. And the one level, whenever I hear about a map maker or something like that Doom 2 level, it haunts me until the day I die. And it's a level called Dead Easy on Doom 2. Because you're basically in a small room, and you see the button in front of you to end the level. You press the button, it doesn't end the level, it drops the other 3 walls, and you're in an arena surrounded by 200 enemies, and you just kind of go, shit. And you just look around and go, motherfucker. And it's the kind of level that some dick would make to just kind of go, I'm just going to fuck you royally.
Yeah, I would literally, if I was making a level for Dan, I probably would fuck him royally.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't expect it any other way.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you know that you would fuck with the other person.
Yeah.
Because you can't help yourself. I've even tried to get him to play Minecraft with me because I really want to leave him dead somewhere.
I've just started playing Minecraft, and Phil, that's your name, right, Phil? I want to make sure I get that right.
Yeah.
My girlfriend actually got me playing Minecraft, and she trolled me. I made this table, and I was really proud of this table, and I showed it to her, and I look at this table I made, and she set it on fire and told me I shouldn't make it out of wood.
Yeah, my son did that.
All right, but you know what you do to your girlfriend? You troll her back. And the best way to troll her back is by repeatedly punching her in the face. And that seems to get the base reaction of, don't troll me.
I would just fart on her pillow when she's not around.
No, that's subtle. I like to go for the extreme answer. I think that the only way to get an extreme answer is that if she sets fire to your Minecraft house, go and shoot up her little sister's school.
Is this in-game or in reality? Because I'm not sure anymore.
A little of column A, a little of column B, whatever you fancy.
The worst thing we've had is like my son, basically in the middle of a Minecraft game, we collected some sheep, put them in a pen, and then he decided to kill them all and make meat burgers.
Oh.
Like,
he's going to be a farmer when he grows up?
Yeah. I've got to say, one of the guys that I know as a good friend, he decided basically it'd be funny to go onto my server and burn my house down. And it was like a month later, and I got really drunk, and I decided that while everyone was downstairs having fun getting drunk, I pissed in his bed.
Oh my god.
And it was fun getting the phone call the next morning. I was going, I've called everyone else, and they said they haven't pissed in my bed, but is it you? My reaction was, no. but I know he won't listen to this show, so it was clearly me. It made his girlfriend very uncomfortable.
I would have taken a shit instead, but that's me.
Do you not think that maybe he's pissing in the bed and he doesn't realise it? So I made his girlfriend believe that he's pissing the bed.
Yeah, he went to bed himself. I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What the fuck is somebody doing?
I think that's Jamie. Jamie, are you okay there?
Yes.
Okay. I think I can hear a washing machine go off, or some dishes being done, or...
Nope, that's not me.
I'm just generally an human being, so that's the kind of thing I would do. You're talking to a man who's in his 30s who has set another man's head on fire because it was funny. There's a great story behind it. I used to be a dancing barman, and yes, I used to be a dancing barman, and basically the guy had a baseball cap on, and someone sprayed it in Link spray, and he turned around and went, "We need a taxi, set my head on fire." And he was wearing the baseball cap, right? And of course, being the head on fire, you've never seen a taxi stop so fast. And he stood there with wearing a baseball cap with his head on fire for like 6 seconds before a taxi went. "Ah!" He pulled off the baseball cap, slapped it on the pavement, put it back on his head, climbed in the taxi, looked at the driver and went, "Home, please."
Yeah, it's one of those that you kind of look at it and think, yeah, that's not the best thing in the world.
Oh, that's a normal thing to do. That's fine. That's like paying your bills.
Just set your head on fire. Just set my head on fire. Why? Because I need a taxi.
Yeah, I need a taxi, set my head on fire. That's normal in Coventry. That's what we do. That's how we signal.
All the time. And by the way, just so you know, Phil, if you want, I can add you into the call while we go to archive. We've got 5 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be basically departing. If you still want to call in and try and troll us at 718-664-9265 or talk E3, either one, that's what we're doing.
I'd love to be added into the call and make a whole new bunch of Skype friends who I can just call and go, "I'm not wearing any underwear." So
neither any of us.
Yes, I know Zach never wears any underwear.
Nope.
Yeah,
not while I'm on Skype.
Well, it's always fun because I'll never do it to the women, and that's what makes it so funny.
Jamie, you're...
What the fuck? It sounds like some sort of growling.
Jamie, what are you doing?
What?
Are you masturbating in front of a furnace?
That's not how I do it, no, but I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just sitting here looking at my computer. I have no idea what you guys are hearing.
It sounds like a fan, because what happens is I can tell from when your thing flashes, and as soon as it flashes, it sounds like a Hoover's going off.
I'm not doing anything, I swear.
It just may be a...
Who's the guilty one here?
That's yours, right?
The wonders of Skype.
2:30.
Because I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. No worries. We'll just keep on with it until your machine decides to rebel and start the revolution with Skynet. All
right, awesome.
It's kind of let's kind of try and bring this whole E3 sort of to a close and go on about the winners and losers here. Now I'm going to throw it around to the panel. Xander, who do you think the winner is from E3? Who do you think won E3, and who do you feel needs to go back to the drawing board?
I think Nintendo won. I really like Nintendo's E3. But who needs to go back to the drawing board? I think Xbox One and Sony both did a good job. I think they both had pros and cons. But I think both of them did what they were supposed to do, I can't really pick between those two.
Yeah, for me, I think that in terms of who brought the best presentation, I think Nintendo by far was more entertaining. But I still think that Sony brought more to the table, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of torn. I'm torn between Nintendo and Sony as to who won. Microsoft were the clear losers because they kind of just begged people in their skinny jeans to see who wants to stay on the Microsoft ship, so to speak. What about you, Jamie? Who do you think was the clear winner of E3?
Sony.
And the reason being?
Simply because it's like you said, they brought more to the table. They had bigger and better games, in my opinion.
Yeah, and do you feel that it's in terms of the losers? Who do you feel lost the audience to grab the audience's attention?
I would have to say Microsoft.
Okay. And what about yourself, Bill? What do you think? Who do you think's the clear winner or loser in terms of E3?
I think the fact that Sony actually brought a presentation makes them the clear winner. Everyone else just tended to go, "Oh, we got this going on. Look at my pretty jumper. Isn't it pretty?" and everyone kind of went, "Yeah, well done, move on." And the clear loser was Neo Geo because they just didn't turn up.
Very, very true.
Which I'm disappointed with, and I was looking forward to King of Fighters 3.
What about you, Zach?
I really don't even know. I honestly wasn't that impressed or blown away with this the whole thing, but I'm always gonna say I'm like a fanboy of hating Microsoft, so I'm always gonna say they're the shittiest and they suck and they should just die alone in a house full of cats. So I don't know. I don't really like them. But I don't know. I wasn't really blown away overall. The one thing I say, I don't know if we talked about. I know we talked about, I think on Tuesday or Monday or whatever. But one thing that I thought was really cool that Nintendo had was like the figures, almost like the Skylanders figures. Because I just want a fucking NES figure. That's I don't give a shit if I ever even played whatever game that goes to. But like, I'd love to just have that shit for my game room, or all of them probably for that point. But so I thought that was cool, but I don't know. I wasn't really blown away. I did laugh the most at Nintendo, so due to them using comedy, I like them the most, but I wasn't blown away.
I want to change my answer, and I want to put the winner as Oculus Rift, because I can't imagine getting a lap dance from a PlayStation 4.
What about you, Anina?
Well, as I've been saying before, purely for what I'm looking forward to, the game-wise, is Sony, Nintendo being a very close second, and Microsoft was just get it together, guys, honestly. I mean, yeah, you're Microsoft, but just get it together, please. It's embarrassing.
Oh, totally agree on that one. So, I think we're all sort of kind of in the agreement in terms of who the clear winner and loser is. And as I said, Nintendo, with the NFC presentation that they've done, with those characters, and the fact that they've actually going to be integrating this tablet with Skylanders and Disney Infinity characters, that they're going to be introducing them into more Nintendo games. So you can do something different with them, is actually kind of awesome. In the same level, it's like...
See, I'm not impressed with the figures. I think it's just like, oh, look, buy a toy. It's like a Happy Meal thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're just cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. They just look cool as fuck.
At least with PC, you can get Mario wanked off by Lara Croft.
That's extremely... That is kind of true, actually. But in terms of what everyone's brought to the table, it does seem that Nintendo have a clear idea of what they want to do. It looks like if they're finally getting the NFC thing right, because the Pokemon Rumble shit that they pulled off was terrible.
They should be ashamed. They betrayed everybody.
They did betray everybody, Zach. They betrayed everybody on that one. In terms of that, they basically looked at their various issues that they had previously and pulled it off in terms of what they're actually looking at, in terms of what they're doing for the fans. The only thing I don't think they've learned from is the fact that they just basically got out there and went, hey, you know what? Yeah, you know that YouTube shit? you could put videos up there, you can upload them, but we're still going to copyright them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck you.
Shit. I think when it comes down to Nintendo, they are like Star Trek movies. You're always going to get a good one, and it's going to be quickly followed by a shit one. So at E3 next year, you're going to get, well, we're releasing a brand new game. It's going to change the way that you're looking at the Nintendo Wii. It's about taking photographs of Super Mario.
Get in the shower. Nude.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and by the way, we're re-releasing Donkey Kong. We're not improving the graphics or anything, we just ran out of shit to say.
But saying that, where do you guys feel that Nintendo can go from here then, in terms of what they're doing? Do you think that this is going to be enough to kind of bolster and boost sales like what they've done with Mario Kart? Because I know you're not...
the only way they're going to boost sales is with hentai, and that's it. They're just going to have to turn the... They're going to have to turn the Wii into the porn console where you wave your remote control and kind of go, Asian woman being diddled by tentacles. And that's the only thing they can do better right now. And most people will still go, well, isn't that just Japan?
That's kind of true, isn't it?
No.
That's a very scary idea, because the Wii was really, really popular with kids and pensioners.
Yeah.
And I just have this one image in my head, and it's very terrifying.
Yeah, Sony and Microsoft go adult with the great storytelling of Grand Theft Auto, and their way of adult storytelling is, well, we're going to give this cartoon big eyes, and we're going to get her clit diddled by a hammer. So...
Isn't that the whole premise to Catherine?
Well, it's the whole premise to all Japanese porn. If you've ever seen a Japanese girl getting laid on porn, she always looks like she really doesn't enjoy it. It's just, and it's just like, you're not enjoying this, love. You're just taking tiny dick for the money.
Well, on that note, let's pass that over to Zach. Zach, where do you think Nintendo could go from here? Do you think they're making the right strides in terms of the way they've come off with this E3 presentation, the entertaining aspects of it, of course, as well, everything aside? They seem to be following what people want now, or what Nintendo fans have been crying out for.
Well, I definitely like that they're bringing, a lot of their older stuff out. Star Fox we talked about. There hasn't been a Zelda on it yet. Original one anyway. But I really just feel like they need fucking more games. And I'm not saying just put out shit to have a library, but what I am saying is that, like, what they need to do is
Pikachu with tits.
Put out more games, and definitely don't get rid of the tablet. I think the tablet is fucking cool. So don't get rid of it, but definitely, I don't know, like I said, just put more shit out. Every time I go to the store, there's like 4 fucking Wii U games, and it's like, this is it? This is the whole fucking shelf? So, I don't know, just put some more shit out,
Yeah, no, he doesn't actually mean take shit and put it out. Like, here's a Nintendo box of poo. It's it's like Miyamoto's poo on a shelf.
Yeah, that was called the GameCube.
Oh god. What about you, Jamie? What do you think Nintendo's taking the right steps here in terms of the way that they conduct themselves, this presentation, everything they're introducing, the fact they may be going into the whole sort of MMO territory with the Legend of Zelda series, with the open worldness of the game and stuff? Do you feel that they are taking the right direction now and learning from their mistakes?
I think they are, but I do also think they need to put out more games, like Zach said. I think that's one of their major problems right now.
No, I agree. Anita, what about you?
Sorry, it crackled again.
Do you think that Nintendo are making the right strides here?
Splatoon looks good, and that's something a bit different from what they've been doing. But, I think they're going through the same route they've been going through. I haven't seen, like, a big, push into a new direction. But then again, if it works, it works. They have a very, strong fan base, so it's not like, I don't think they're in too much trouble. But I was impressed with what Splatoon looks like, but, if they suddenly came out with something really adult like Heavy Rain or something like that, then I'd be, that would be your clear new route.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of the direction that they're going in, they're catering towards the audience that I think they see. They still direct themselves towards like sort of kids, and try and make themselves a family console. So they try to do everything for everyone. I think it's the same thing that Sony are trying to do. They're trying to backpedal a bit, with all their Harry Potter shit and their version of the Wii remote with a testicle on top. It doesn't seem like
a wand.
That is not a wand.
Whoever designed that needs a slap in the face.
It was like, hey,
what are you designed?
Yeah, let's take the Wii remote and put a ball on it. No one will recognise it. It's a wand.
Why the fuck
it will call it the
big?
Nintendo and Hitler and be done with it.
Yeah.
Why was the ball so big?
I don't know.
What the hell?
Because they love Hitler.
I really think, and they made it glowy as well. It's like someone probably modelled it on their own testicle and just said, "Hey, look, we make it glow, and we know the in-joke, but everybody else won't."
Right.
But you've got your little kids playing Harry Potter's like
Harry
Book
Potter.
of Harry Potter.
Yeah. They made the ball so big because they love Hitler and they lost World War II.
What the fuck does this have to do with Hitler?
He only had one ball.
Oh, okay.
That did not have to do with Hitler. This show had a lot to do with Hitler this week.
Yeah.
But it was actually kind of funny as well, because you look at it and he's got this kid playing like J.K. Rowling's Book of Secret Magic thingy, and this big glowing testicle on top of his gamepad.
I know, I can't take it seriously. I wouldn't even be able to play a game because I just giggle uncontrollably.
I know.
Literally for hours.
Please say that there's one spell that involves milking a cow just so they can shoot audio of someone looking like they're jacking off.
Meh. Well, there was actually a funny story I was actually telling these guys about previously, Phil, where my first experience with No More Heroes was, do you know the one of the movements in there to try and recharge the battery in your lightsaber is a jerking off motion.
Yeah.
And I was doing that in the living room, and then my former mother-in-law just walked in on me.
This isn't what it looks like.
Yeah, I was like, I'm playing a game.
She's like, it looks like you're trying to recharge some batteries. You're like, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. They just looked at me, just had a funny look, slowly crept out of the room and closed the door, and I was like, no!
That's like some Family Guy shit.
Yeah, it's like, it isn't what it looks like. I swear it isn't what it looks like. And then my ex-wife said,
watch this, it makes it double up the speed.
Peanut Griffin!
My mum felt really...
Shut up, Meg.
Yeah, shut up, Meg. It was... It was a hilarious moment, but with that though, imagine having that where you're just basically jerking off with a thing that looks like a big testicle. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I think with Microsoft, at least they were trying to be inventive with the Kinect. They're like, oh look, we've got something that does full range body sensors, even though it doesn't, that you can play Dragon Ball Z on. Which it doesn't.
With the Kinect, you have to stay still for it to bloody work.
Yes, and you have to saying...
They have full body sensors. At that point, why don't you just play the game naked and do helicopter dick and see what that does?
The way people laugh about like NES peripherals and like Genesis peripherals and how they don't work properly, 20 years from now, that's how people are going to joke about Kinect, how that shit just did not work.
Joke about the Oculus Dick like that. Have you seen that in Japan?
The what?
The Oculus Dick.
Wait, is that the one with the belts and shit?
Yeah, it literally is a penis attachment. Yeah.
I need to invest in that company.
I could see people like basically playing that on the PlayStation 4. Just
the only time I'm ever going to buy an Oculus Rift is so I can basically sit there and basically just turn it into porn and wank myself stupid while I get laid.
That's what I was going to say.
The only reason to buy Oculus Rift. I don't care about gaming when it comes to that headset.
The problem with like realistic sex on like machines is that all you're gonna get is people locking the door to the room and just fucking thing until the fucking batteries die out or they blow the back end of the thing out. That's
no fun. I'm gonna leave the door open and go, "Hey, Mum, come and take a look at this," and try and finish and clean myself up before she gets up to the room. That's called extreme masturbation.
That's called living life on the edge.
Yeah. By the time my mother gets to the room, I want to be snuggling with my robot whore.
Mum,
I like to cuddle so I don't feel like less of a man.
This is your daughter-in-law, the Oculus Rift. She comes in 2 parts.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she was built
the outside looks the outside looks very stained, but the inside is a wonderful view. Don't worry about the creaminess, Mother. I'll just say to you, I eat a lot of yogurt.
Oh, God. So saying that, I think we got the clear winners and losers of E3. Microsoft probably need to bring a heck of a lot more to win their fans back over. As for Sony, they've got great presentations, they've got good promises. Hopefully they can adhere to those promises and give the fans something more. And in terms of Nintendo have really brought their A game, and it's one of those things where it's really showing now, even with a lot of people doubting the Wii U and doubting the console itself, that we're probably going to be getting a lot more goodness, that's not creamy filled, of course, on that console. So the great thing about it is, at least for E3, everybody wins.
But the big announcement was never made. I mean, the Commodore 64 never turned up and said that they were going to release a sequel to Paperboy.
I think the reason being is they knew that they were too high-tech for the rest of them.
Oh, exactly. Who can beat a tape deck?
Exactly. No one can beat a tape deck, man. And the loading time, where you could literally spend your whole month making a cup of tea, waiting for that fucking thing to load, before it ends up crashing and you've got to do it all again.
Yeah, there's nothing more fun than waiting for a level to load and earning a paycheck. That is quick loading times.
And wasting your electricity waiting for the thing to actually load up.
Oh, exactly. The only way you could waste electricity in a better way is to masturbate into a plug socket.
Very, very true. Now, on that point, guys, let's go on to the plugs. Paul, being our guest on the show today, Phil. I don't know why I came with Paul. Phil, coming on the...
Shame on you, Michael.
Yeah, he's basically, my brain cells are dying for the fact that I've been laughing so hard for the rest of the show.
Hey, Paul.
So, Phil, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where we can find you.
All right, then. I'm Phil. I'm a Gemini.
I feel like a dog walks
yes.
reading.
Yes, I like long walks on the beach and bestiality.
You okay there?
Huh? What?
Is that the Tiny Toon song?
No, it was Mario Kart. My bad.
You bloody kids with your ghetto blasters and your Pac-Man. I'm going to be starting an online radio show in about 5-6 months' time called The Phil and Anthony Show. We're going to have a lot of live bands on and a lot of friends who are comedians, musicians, and just basically shooting the shit with these guys and just having a fun old time while doing it. You know, the way Jesus intended. Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, very much so. And I think if it's anything from what we've seen today, Phil, I think we're going to have a lovely time.
I'd love to have you guys on the show. Definitely.
Oh, more welcome. So I'll make sure I make an appearance. I appear on everything.
Come up to Coventry, and we're going to be doing it in front of a live audience. So come up to Coventry. We'll promote your show. You can promote ours, and we'll basically just make it a real cunty occasion because I am an amazing cunt.
Yes, so am I. So going on from that, Xander, plug away, my friend. Plug away.
All right. Well, I had to pause my Mario Kart. I was playing some 100cc. But I host a gaming podcast called Excess Gaming Podcast. You can listen to us on Podomatic.com or on iTunes. And we're about to reach our 50th episode. Very excited about that. But you can also watch my YouTube channel. This is youtube.com/XanderScullion. I just uploaded a video not too long ago talking about gaming hype. And you guys can check that out. Also, you can view everything on thenerdgenius.com by Michael Burhan. And all my content's also on retrounlin.com.
Yeah, of course. And, we never miss an episode of the Excess Game Podcast or Xander's YouTube channel. He is awesome. And Ina, being our other special guest today, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where we can find you, what you're doing, and all the awesome stuff that you're up to at the moment.
Oh, cool. Well, my other side projects are more acting-based, as you can probably guess. I'm in an improv group. We do a improvised film noir show, and we are doing the Camden Fringe and the Henley Fringe here in the UK. So if you are UK-based, find us on Improv Noir. Google that. We come up. You can find me on Twitter at Anina Casty. There's only one of me, because I have a weird name.
Oh, and you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. I'm special, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not as special as most of the people who phoned in on the show today, because they were really special.
Yes, they were unique.
They were very
I tongue and I enjoy the taste of tampons. It's like Down syndrome, the next generation for me. It's great.
But yeah, Anina, sorry, as you were saying?
Yeah, just find me on Twitter or Google Improv Noir and come see one of our shows. They are a hoot, even though it's Improv Noir. You always get some dirty jokes, because that's just what improv is.
Yeah, improv. Oh, it's literally dirty jokes.
That's what improv is. If you just condense it, it is dirty jokes.
Well, I did a panto, and I managed to actually get jokes in that the adults understood, and it went over the kids' heads. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
The parents were sitting there giggling while the kids were like, "Yay!"
Why do I imagine you dressed as Aladdin and screaming, 9/11 wasn't that a kerfuffle?
I was dressed as a pirate, and people still scream 9/11. It was okay. I was like, Timmy,
I can trump that. I was in a kids' music video, and I was a blue rapping rhino. Beat that.
I was a rapping pirate.
Yeah, but I was a rhino. With like a hat and bling. That's amazing.
I find that attractive.
Alright, then I had sex with a woman who wouldn't have sex if she didn't put on an anime head.
No, seriously, Phil, is that true? Because if that is true, I need proof.
That is true, and unfortunately, I do not have proof. It was literally what, and this is the thing. She turned around to me and she dressed as a Japanese schoolgirl, and she refused to have sex unless she could put on her anime head. And I wish I could take pictures, but for some reason she wouldn't let me.
You probably took it out if you took pictures.
No, but the
well,
anime head.
It's not as if anyone would see her fucking face. But yeah, I had to have sex with a girl wearing a Japanese anime mask, and I'm talking about on these big, huge. It wasn't like a mask. It was like this huge fucking helmet she had to put on so she could get off. I shit you not. It was the weird. Oh no, I managed to finish, but it was just more the fact of I'm looking into these giant eyes, kind of going, I feel like I'm having sex with Akira. I feel like I should be fucking you on the top of a bike. The hell? I feel like I should have a tentacle up my asshole. What the hell is going on here? That was about 2 years ago now. It was the weirdest sex I've ever had.
But it was also eventful, because at least you got some.
Yeah, and this is coming from a guy whose first girlfriend was a deaf girl, and the way she orgasmed sounded like someone had punched her in the clit. I thought that was weird until I had sex girl who turned around to me and said, I need to put this on, and then she just dropped this papier-mâché anime mask, this papier-mâché anime helmet on, and I just kind of went, well, this is a whole new experience, but at least I know she speaks English as opposed to... So...
What the fuck are we talking about?
No idea.
We're basically saying that the fact that I was in a 3-year relationship with a deaf girl was not weird compared to fucking a girl who could only get off with wearing a papier-mâché helmet in the shape of an anime Japanese schoolgirl.
So was her level over 9,000?
Dude,
I don't know what it was. She just enjoyed it. I think the best thing for me was hearing a deaf girl turn around to me going, "Lick my clit." Sorry, what was that? Lick my clit. I'm sorry. It's like I'm hearing you through a tin can. Lick my clit. What? I think you said... Yeah,
I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it took me 3 months before I realised she was telling me to lick her clit.
Look, I don't even know why this is funny, but it's funny.
That's the point. It came to something where she had to stop me, pick up her mobile phone, and kind of type in text, lick my clit. We had to stop for her to type things, so I wanted to know what she wanted me to do to her. And that is the second weirdest thing, on top of fucking a girl who had to wear a papier-mâché anime schoolgirl helmet.
Hey, you know what? I just still want to find my girl who wants to wear a tanuki suit, but that's me. Anyway, let's go to Zach. Zach, what have you got for us? Plug your show, plug away, and if you've ever been with a girl with papier-mâché anime head, please let us know.
Yeah.
No, I made a paper mache egg when I was in kindergarten, I think, and that was it.
That's the extent.
What's up?
That's the extent. That's those memories flooding back, didn't it? It was like, kindergarten.
I just...
Yep. Anyway, so I have never banged a deaf girl. My buddy did in Florida a couple years ago. But anyway.
Did you say
you guys can catch
good? What if deaf people have a really thick English accent?
We should at least ask women have they ever slept with a deaf man. Even.
Well, let's go on to Zach's plug. Zach.
Anyway, you guys can find me and Kyla at youtube.com/gettingyournerdon. We're finally giving that PlayStation away. We had the contest weeks ago. I got a new job, and I've been up to my fucking eyeballs and bullshit. So it's finally going to be given away next week at some point. I got a bunch of shit that I've rescued from the dumpster, so there'll be a new dumpster diving video. And we'll have a new complete gaming next week. Anyway, you can find us there. Go check us out. Like I said, youtube.com/gettingyournerd. You can also go to Facebook and just search Getting Your Nerd On, and you can find us there. And then Kyla has an Instagram that's Kiki Buttface, KIKIBUTTFACE. Find her and be friends with her.
There you go, guys. And also you can find Getting Your Nerd on nerdgenius.com as well as retroisland.com as well. And of course, Jamie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Hazardous Cosplay, HAZRD-US Cosplay on Facebook, and also typing in Hazardous Cosplay, HAZRD-US Cosplay on Instagram. We'll pull up my Instagram, and also on Twitter at GVirusJunkie, Junkie spelled Junkie, and I post mostly game stuff and random things on there because I watch scary gameplays late at night for some reason. Last time I watched Silent Hill and I looked outside at 3 a.m. and there was nothing but fog outside. That was a wonderful experience.
At least there wasn't someone wearing a papier-mâché head.
No, it was not somebody wearing a papier-mâché head, but I wanted to throw on my Alessa cosplay and just go and stand in the parking lot and just see if anyone freaked out.
I'm surprised when she reached orgasm. I'm surprised she didn't scream, "Igu!"
Senpai!
Ahoy, hoy.
Wow.
So, going on that, guys. Also, you can find Travis, who's basically had to go, so you can find him, of course, on the Radio Show every Thursday at 8 p.m. That's the show where it's kind of like the Zoo morning radio shows, but we let our hair down and just don't bother with FCC censors. We say whatever the fuck we want, whenever the fuck we like. You can also catch him on his YouTube channel, Rose Colored Let's Plays and Rose Colored Reviews. He's part of the Full Screen Network as well, guys. Catch him on RetroIsland.com. Catch him on NerdGenius.com as well. And catch him anywhere, including Facebook. You can also get updates on all these lovely pages and lovely channels and stuff on the I Got Gameplay Facebook page. And also keep an eye out as well. Myself and Xander are involved in a project currently where we'll be actually producing a pilot for the Silent Hill TV series. I got the okay for Konami to do a pilot only, and we are going to be doing a lot in terms of that. We've got a lot of stages that we're working on currently. I also got some help from some Major League Silent Hill fans as well, who are giving us notes and aids. Not aids, but you know, in terms of helping us to get the script right and get it to the basically the way that we want, you know, the fans in general. So keep an eye out for that, guys. And also you can find us as well, 8 p.m. every Saturday on I Got Gameplay, and check out the Retro Island Network for other shows, including the Untitled Movie Show, Retro Renaissance Podcast, of course, as well. The lovely show with Nathan Mercier as well, which is called Stage with Style. It's factual every Sunday. John Lassner, aka L76, does his Retro Desert Island games as well. And also game reviews every Wednesday. We've got a few episodes, so make sure you stay tuned to that. Stay tuned to I've Got Gameplay, and for Xander Scullion, Jamie Stiles, and Nina Kasky, and also Zach Latour. I'm Michael Burham saying that we've got gameplay. Have you? I did. Honestly, what am I like?